All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready for the live on TikTok. Matthew's setting that up right now. I just saw in that intro video, my old haircut. I know it looks a lot different tonight, and I'm looking forward to, even underneath of this, it's a lot longer than it was in that video, and I can't wait until I cut it again. I'm going to wait till after the winter. If you voted today, do we have anybody tuning in? I don't have my glasses on. We have a few people watching. If you voted today and you want to put in the comments who you voted for, put that in the comments. It's pretty blurry. Do we have a monitor? Do we have entering studio stream?
I'll send you the charger. This is dead.
Doing some tests as we get set up here. We got 2 hours of this, so
getting ready to rock, baby.
If you want to let us know who you voted for, let us know in the comments. I voted. Do you want to talk about who you voted for?
Sure.
Did you vote today or early?
Today.
Yeah, real American. Just joking. If you
Somebody
voted
said
early,
vote early, vote often. Oh, we should probably address the wigs in the room.
Well, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. You look really funny because your eyebrows are so light. And the Kamala wig is so. Actually, how about you talk about who you voted for first?
Yes, so I'll discuss how I chose to vote this year. And I have labored over this decision because I felt, as I asked more and more people why they were voting for who, and I got deeper and deeper, I can't take myself seriously.
We can see ourselves, and this is really weird.
Into the, wow, we're just giving TikTok. You got to plug it in. Yeah, so we could use the.
All right, just talk to these
Okay,
people.
you
Just talk to these people. Who'd you vote for? He'll figure that out.
And we gotta turn this one on too. Yeah, so I was just kind of
wrong way.
I was just kind of like, man, I think there's a lot of people that don't necessarily choose to vote out of a reason as much as it is just a political affiliation with the Democratic or the Republican sides. And this thing's just gonna be some crazy angle, and we're just gonna have to be okay with that.
TikTok, have fun with that.
Yeah,
crazy
we're upside
angle.
down. That'll get people sticking on. So I ended up voting for Trump, and I felt that in the past, abortion has been a big topic for me. And while Trump did make some efforts there with Supreme Court justice appointments and the repeal of Roe v. Wade, I did not actually think he's going to do anything in 2024 about abortion. Anything further, I should say. So what it came down to for me was, well, what's the next most important thing? Obviously, immigration has been a big talking point this whole election cycle, and as well as economics. So the state of the economy is a huge deal.
You're a business owner.
I'm a business owner. So a lot of Americans have experienced incredibly high grocery prices. They've experienced not as high gas prices. I think those have been less extreme, but grocery has been a big thing. as a business owner, I've experienced a
We're
lot.
just upside
We're just
down on
upside down
TikTok.
on
It's
TikTok.
such a
Yep.
we're streaming on a bunch of
Um,
different things TikTok, so just take it
You
off.
gotta plug the handle in. That's what needs to be plugged in.
So
Is your
economy is one reason. He's a business owner. Groceries, everything was more affordable when Trump was president. We've seen
so
4
but
years of both.
it came down for me. Whew, it's getting hot in here. It came down for me to really the appointments and the economy. And so, for me, what I really thought was Trump is likely to appoint Supreme Court justices,
Thank you.
lower level judges,
Thank you.
and everything. That yes, President elect. Nope, that's not even your title anymore. I felt that his appointments were likely to be more conservative, and that economically speaking, he's much better for the country at this time. I think that, and when it comes to warfare, I don't think there's a high chance of nuclear warfare to any degree, but I do think that he was probably better with international relations, and people criticize a lot that he would talk on the phone with Putin and North Korea and everything. I'm just like, if there's other people with nukes in the world, they should be talking on the phone now and then.
Yeah, they should be scared of us. There were no wars under Trump, which is nice. No new wars. I voted for Trump too, pretty much the same reasons. I do like again, abortion rights have been given to the states, overturn of Roe v. Wade. That's not a federal thing anymore. I like that his stance is much more conservative than hers is when it comes to that. But yeah, it's kind of the same thing. Free speech was a big one for me too. I think that the left is about, for the most part, censoring free speech. And we see that already when you post stuff on Facebook as a Christian and it gets, fogged over and it says it's for, because like a fact checker checked it and it's like a Bible verse that's really obscure. Like it's really weird. And so they want to mute more and more of that. So that had to do, I'm in ministry and I want to be able to talk about that stuff. So that had to do a lot with don't do that, please.
Now I get why women in church on Sundays are always fanning themselves.
You guys
man.
think
I am sweating.
Put in the comments if you think Trump should grow a beard.
You look like a Backstreet Boy with like the bleached hair and the beard.
We should talk about some of the games we're going to do. So we have a ton of energy drinks here. I took pre-workout at the gym this morning.
I got up at 4:30 today, so I took a nap before this, and I also am drinking some Red Bull right now.
We're not super big into alcohol. I actually can't drink it right now because I'm in seminary. They made me sign my life away. Can't do any alcohol.
We're inviting people, if you're just coming in to join, share who you voted for, why, who you think's going to win.
That's inviting them to be live with us, isn't it?
Yeah, we're inviting people to be live. So if you want to jump in,
Dude,
we're just going to give you like whiplash
What's happening right now?
This is just a tripod whose battery is dead. So, just part of the fun.
So one of the games we're doing is if we have 5 keywords, and if the Democratic side, we're gonna go back and forth between different live streams and check out some popular ones, Daily Wire, CNN, different things like that. If while we're on CNNs, you hear the word equality, diversity, climate, reform, or justice, I have to take a chug of an energy drink. And when you're on a conservative site, if we hear freedom, security, constitution, patriotism, or taxes, Matthew has to take a chug of an energy drink. He said he's 400 milligrams in of caffeine today. Right? 400.
It's very reasonable, actually, for me. My usual intake up until about this month or a few weeks ago was over 1,000 milligrams. So it was getting dangerous.
How much caffeine is in one of these? What's in yours?
Let's find out. Sugar-free Red Bull versus Monster. Well, it's hard to find. Caffeine, 114 milligrams.
Find mine. You found yours quickly. There's a lot more chemicals in mine.
600 milligrams.
All right, 100. That's not bad. It's only 400.
Red Bull gives you wings.
I've had coffee today
Monster
and I've had pre-workout. So
we should go game after this.
Let's jump to a live stream, Jamie. Check out.
How do you guys think I look with long red hair?
Not. We actually went.
This is not.
We went opposites because if Matt wore this, it would just look like a longer version of the hair he already has, and that's almost my hair color.
Yeah, I tried that one on. So I really didn't look that different.
We both voted Trump. Don't get the wrong idea from the wig. All right, Daily Wire, we're checking in. Oh, update as well before we play this live. North Carolina went for Trump, so that's a big win. It looks like the Sun Belt states are going to all go for Trump. It's probably going to come down to it's going to come down to the 3 swing states, and likely come down to Pennsylvania, which we'll see what happens. You playing this one, Jamie? We got audio.
Trump margin of victory for the New York Times right now. They're suggesting Trump plus 1.8
or you could just listen
in Pennsylvania right now. 49% of the vote counted. That is.
By the way, are they? If you know, are they having AI analyze this?
It's a good question. I have no clue. I have no clue how they're
very
saying
curious.
it.
I'll bet they are, and if they are, it actually adds a little more credibility, in my opinion. I'm sorry to say.
Yep. President Trump has won Montana, by the way. So that
Yeah,
I knew you were waiting on that. I knew you were waiting.
Well, we're waiting
Both-
on.
both
We
houses
are
of the
waiting
Senate.
on the Senate race in Montana.
Well,
Isn't
that one's done. He's gonna.
She's
Oh,
got
yeah?
it. She's
Yeah,
got
he's
it.
got it.
Can we throw up the current electoral map, because I
Yeah.
think this is actually worth taking a moment and seeing exactly where we stand right now. Look at that. It's there's nothing here that's particularly surprising, but that is actually a very good thing. Lots of states are starting to get called. They're not going in directions that they're not defying wildly what our expectations were. This race was always most likely to come down to what happens in the Rust Belt. And it looks like that's exactly what's going to happen.
The betting markets for the moment have President Trump a heavy favorite. So, Polymarket has President Trump at like an 80% favorite. Again, the numbers continue to move in President Trump's direction. If the theory of the Democrats was that high turnout favors the Democrats, they were totally wrong.
Yeah, because
they were totally wrong.
It was interesting what his name Brent was saying before, the pollster was saying before, that they were right up to a point and then not right. Right?
Yeah.
They were right if it went higher than
Oh, yeah,
2016,
percent.
and then if it went higher than 2020, it was unknown territory. And it's guys, I guess, showing up.
A friend of
Do you think all those people that said they were going to move to Canada the first time Trump won, you think they're going to move to Canada? There's more people that have said they're going to move to Canada this time because they just hate free speech that much.
I would welcome these people to move to Canada. We don't want you.
If America's such a bad
You're
country,
loved. You're a person. You have value. But if you really like Canada's policies, then move to Canada. I mean, that's the beauty of the immigration process in the modern world. Is like you can go move to the Middle East and if you're a woman, you won't be able to like have the same freedoms you have in America.
yeah,
You
I don't
move wherever you
understand.
want
Like,
to reduce your own
if America's
freedoms.
such a bad country, you can move at any point in time, and it's not gonna,
One of the big
We'll pray
reasons
for you.
Jordan Peterson, I feel like, really
he's on the Daily Wire tonight.
have come in has made his way into the American media so much is because he stood up against Canadian censorship, and I don't fully understand what that story was about. But I know that I believe that he actually lost his clinical credentialing to do clinical psychology with patients because he was saying some things that they didn't like, and so they stripped him of his credentials.
Also, update: Ben Klein won the 6th district seat in Congress. That's the Republican for Virginia. That's the state we're in. So if you're watching from another state, comment who has won those smaller the seats and all those different things in your state, and who you voted for. If you're tuning in and you want to put who you voted for, we've already shared that. Both of us voted for Trump.
Man, it is pretty wild. Virginia's just going back and forth as a state. We're in Virginia, and we've been just watching, and it is right now in Virginia. It is very, very, very close. We're at 49.7 to Trump and 48.7 to Kamala, and we're just using the AP's reporting that they're using on Google search. So I don't know.
Did Jamie voted for Kamala, right?
Yeah, when you're a video guy, you see Kamala and you're like, yeah, she's a winner.
Do you see his shirt? He's got Trump with a big nose on it, like he's a liar.
Chino.
No, it's Fauci. Just kidding.
Fauci.
James, what's that other game we're playing with the Hulk fist? You guys want to see us punch each other? Oh, when a state comes in, how many states are confirmed right now? We need to start punching each other. Whenever a red state wins, I get to punch him with a Hulk fist that we have, and whenever a blue state wins, he punches me.
Pennsylvania is at 50%. VA is at 65. North Carolina 70. Georgia is 82.
It looks like
California's
I'm
gonna be a
beating the
big one.
crap out of you right now if we do the based off of this map.
Oh, Jamie Sharon. Presidential win chances is a little hard to see for us. It's small. Let's go full screen over here.
Yeah, that's a lot of red, bro.
Yeah, I think that's typical. Like California hasn't finished. That's a huge one. I can't remember how many electoral votes does California get.
California gets a lot. Fun fact, if you didn't know this was actually when Trump was president. So, kind of fell under his leadership. But I can't remember what year it was, but they redid the electoral college count. They did a census and they miscounted. And I think it was like 4 Democratic states got more electoral college votes than they should have. And like 3 or so Republican states got less. So that's a big deal.
California gets
he was the president.
54 electoral
What does
college
Texas
votes.
get?
Texas gets 40. So
Man, why does California
still
get to
have come
decide
in.
so much of what happens to the country? It's the worst place. At least John MacArthur's there.
Yeah,
J.
so
Mac.
they get 54. Oregon, I believe, is also typically blue. They get 8. Washington gets 12. So there's, on the far left there, you have 62, 74 electoral college votes, probably to swing in Kamala's favor here.
Put your
which
questions in
would
the
put her
chat
at
too.
180. Just if you add those states, you're at 182 for electoral votes on her side.
Put your questions in the chats or in the comments because we're gonna have a session later where we actually answer all the comments. So we're gonna try on TikTok. We're still upside down on there. So, but yeah, put any of the questions you have or anything like that in the chat. I wanted to. Oh yeah. So it's looking like it's gonna come down to
TikTok. We're not upside down anymore. I can fix it. Huzzah!
It's fixing TikTok, digital media at its finest.
Yeah,
So
buddy.
it's likely going to come down to Pennsylvania. It could come down to Pennsylvania. And what's really ironic about that is Kamala did not pick Shapiro from Pennsylvania as her vice president. And the Daily Wire seems to think that's because Shapiro is heavily Jewish. You can tell by the last name. And there's this whole thing going on with Israel and Palestine. And so it very well could come back to bite her in the butt if she loses Pennsylvania, because that's his state. She would have very well likely won Pennsylvania if that ends up being the deciding state if she had him as her vice president. So super ironic. You want to pull up another one, Jamie? Or do you want to do some clips? You want us to react to some clips?
Is this a forecast you're showing, James? Oh, is there actually 226 for Trump right now? Did another one just come in? Oh, I think that's a forecast.
There's different polls too, though. There's different.
Yeah, but are the electoral college ones?
Yeah.
Back and forth? Huh.
Yeah, like Daily Wires is going to look different than this. Depends on who you're looking at. All right, we're going to check out
and then they'll start processing.
And those should be
Turning
good.
Point, Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, I mean, so we.
What did we close on election day?
So today. This was I don't have the final totals. I'll get them from our team right now. But where we were at the 6 o'clock hour was 250,000 votes in Maricopa County, 91,000 were Republican, 103,000 were third party or independent, 54,000 were Democrat.
Yeah. Okay.
So we outperformed significantly the Democrat Party, but there were a lot of independents who showed up.
And we
today in
don't know
person.
the drops. We don't know drops.
And I'll be honest,
Can we
seemingly the independents were not favorable to us as much as we were hoping for. We're gonna run the numbers, but the problem is we don't have really complete data here because
we're missing Gila. We're also missing some of our best counties.
Maricopa County.
What?
Center County.
Did it flip? No way.
Charlie, not only did it flip.
Can we get Cliff on, please?
With 63% of the vote. See, CNN says 63%. New York Times has 66% in Center County, 51-48 for Donald Trump.
Red Bull or Monster here.
Center County, State College, Penn State.
Patriotism and taxes.
All right, this was actually a big deal. So we're going to want to hear what they were saying about the county.
I do have to bring up a point with you here, man. Got to say it. So I went to the Penn State-Ohio State game, largest attendance of any Penn State game in history, and I did not wear earplugs.
Okay.
I didn't wear earplugs at all, buddy.
The county is in Arizona.
All right. Let's
So
And we flipped
the
it.
quick math that we're doing here
There's
Denver
missing
County
votes in Maricopa County.
is
Though.
they didn't report all the returns. So
It's still close. It could
it's
flip back.
426. This is like par for the course with these idiots. It's like
Idiots are
literally.
all-
And just to contrast this,
Where is it?
the first drop in 2020, we were down 9 points.
Right? They are.
Tyler,
Yeah, all right, there we go.
the first drop in 2020, we were down 9 points, and now we're basically tied. And it only gets redder from here.
To Trump, a difference of 16,500 votes, pretty much, with a 48% reporting. So still a long ways to go there.
We're not saying our words. I'm taking a sip. I need to stay awake. Do you like my costume?
We should have streamed Call of Duty during this.
Does anybody like my costume? Matt bought it, and I don't look near as dapper as Trump normally does.
Who has the better costume, fans?
Good
Huge
night.
batch of votes about to be posted. in
That's
Battleground,
CNN.
Georgia.
Pull up CNN. We've only looked at conservative. Let's look at the liars. I'm just joking. No, I'm not.
I saw a CNN thing. I was at the gym. I never watch like mainstream media anymore. I was at the gym and I saw some CNN stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're just so inflammatory. I didn't see any Foxes too, like all this big media. They're just doing it for clicks now and ratings.
now. So we've got everybody back. They're actually going to start running those memory cards now.
So after those 323, it should move pretty quickly.
Yeah. We're expecting it to pick up.
All right. Zach Manifold, Supervisor of Elections here in Gwinnett County. I'll send it back to you, Jake.
Thanks, Victor. Let's get more on Georgia from Sarah Murray, who's at the Fulton County Elections Hub outside Atlanta. Sarah, what are you hearing about the outstanding votes there?
Well, Jake, for all the flack that Fulton County gets for how it runs its elections, things have been going very smoothly and very steadily here tonight. They've had these memory cards coming in. They're uploading the day of election vote, and they're hoping in Fulton County to be able to upload all of their day of voting by 11 p.m. Now, there is another large county where things are going a little bit slower, kind of like Gwinnett, DeKalb County. I spoke to them a little bit ago. They said they don't have a number of what their overall election day count was, and they're not sure how long it's going to take for them to get through it. They're just chugging through it little by little. Now, in Cobb County, another large county here in Georgia, they said they still had less than 1,000 absentee mail-in ballots that they had to get through.
I think there's a lot of pressure being felt for votes to be turned in a more timely fashion, so as not to aggravate. Trump has already, I think, to his fault, has already basically said, if we lose, it must be because it's stolen, and he's put some breadcrumbs of basically we can't possibly lose in the real world, and so he's kind of poised people to potentially be very, very volatile after the election.
It's fake news, guys. It's fake news. He works for CNN. I mean, it's Kamala.
No, I do think one of the funniest things about anything is like you always see fences at things. Is this true that Kamala Harris had walls put up around her house after the election?
I've heard people say something about there being at least like a big fence at her house. Jamie, pull it up.
But at the voting, like you see the fences everywhere and the yellow fence. It's just like at some level, all of these places believe in
border security.
Walls.
Yeah. Well, I heard this today. I can't remember who it was, but there was an empire at one point that let in a bunch of illegal people into their country. And they did it because they were establishing supporters to vote for them, and they were establishing donors, because all these people are going to vote and donate to them if they become successful. They're definitely going to vote for them either way because that's who let them in. And then you establish a lot more power in that case. I don't see any other reason. It's not really compassionate because you're not looking out for the best interest of your country. What does that say?
Kamala Harris builds wall around home before election. She gets a wall, but not our border. Critics demand security. So it looks like all the other headlines I'm seeing, and that we're just going off headlines here, they put up fences around the White House and the VP's residence, which they also, I believe, did several times throughout the Black Lives Matter riots and everything. So that might have become somewhat standard operating procedure. I'm not seeing anything particularly different about like her house receiving extra security or anything.
Well, it's a wall. Build a wall.
I still don't know if they're actually in charge of that. They're probably not. They just have like.
Who's the vice president?
This is so itchy, ladies. Is your hair
You
this
talking about
itchy?
the wall? She was given that direct charge. She was given charge over the border crisis.
How do you get all this volume out? I don't want all this volume. I just want it.
Oh yeah, Ted Cruz won. I saw that too. You want to pull that up?
I feel like I'm too pale for this kind of hair.
He's got so many links over there. There we go.
We will produce and we will lead the entire world. And we will never again let foreign dictators hold American energy independence hostage. Third, we must defend our God-given rights. Not some of them, not most of them, but all of them.
Chuck, ask us some questions.
The right
and answer
to
questions.
speak truth
Chuck,
in an
I'm
age
on the
of
live.
enforced lies.
Chuck Pfeiffer, we're calling you out.
The right
I'm
to
on the
worship
live.
the Lord God
who you
Almighty
voted
with
for.
all of our heart, mind, and soul without government getting in the way.
We can only do that on TikTok.
Creeping.
And the right to
Don't
protect our families without asking bureaucrats for permission.
I think this is a sign.
But above all, this mandate means fighting.
The button.
All right, folks, we are back. That is Senator Ted Cruz, who has won his race in Texas for a third consecutive term. Again, we are very thankful for tonight's sponsors. We're going to take a moment to tell you about them right now, and then we will be right back with more breaking results.
Don't give them ad space. They're not paying us.
If there's one thing we can all agree on this election season, it's that taxes are terrible. That's why we've partnered with Tax Network USA.
Well, just like the Daily Wire fights for your beliefs and your rights, our friends at Tax Network USA will fight for you if you're struggling with the IRS. They have teams of attorneys and expert negotiators ready to help settle your IRS issues quickly and in your favor.
That's weird. Yeah, but last time I tried to do her laugh, it came off a little bit too much.
It's getting hot. You're about to see what Trump looks like with a bunch of tattoos.
Legacy Media, if you are a company where you want to do live shows, produce online content, you want to distribute that across Meta, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it now, TikTok, YouTube, you want to build that following online, that is what we do. We have managing $11 million in paid media spend, and we do that for business owners across the country, and we have clients inside and outside of the United States. So that's what we do, and we're here covering the Trump and Kamala presidential race. Funsies at all.
I think this is joinable right now. Like, I don't think someone could come in and chat with us.
Huh. Yell on the phone.
Yeah, but I don't.
You
I think that's.
Remember how to do like split screens or do that? No, I just didn't think something about. You guys want to join and share who you voted for and why? Who you think's going to win? Why is one side of my hair so much over here?
I'm worrying about the hair.
What is this? It's all the way over here.
I'm interested in.
It's all the way. My barber, my salon stylist, hair lady.
I'm interested in
I'm the
who.
vice president, and they can't cut my hair the same length.
We're getting some likes on TikTok. That's sweet. I'm interested in who you voted for and why. What specific topics? What led you? We talked to somebody yesterday, and they got on the TikTok live, and they told us they were voting for Kamala. And I said, "What's your favorite thing about Kamala?" And she was like, "I don't really know. It's a good question." And so I asked her, "What did we?"
I always wonder where I'd like to put my hair in a high pony.
So I said that you basically voted against Trump, not for her.
Ow!
All
Let's
right.
do the high pony.
Go ahead, James. Actually, you want to react to a funny video? Let's react to a funny video.
What happened with Georgia? Was that important? Who knows?
We'll get an update in a minute.
There we go. Got my
Pennsylvania.
hair up in a pony.
All right. We're going to react to a funny
Still
video.
looks bad.
Just stop.
One day I'll be pretty.
Okay, now I want each of you to shout your own name. Do that. Because it's about all of us. It's about all of us.
Her hair is nicer than mine. Yeah, that was a little
Well,
cringy.
well, so does Trump, I guess.
One of the biggest things that I've heard from some of my friends who are more likely to vote on the Democratic side is that they're very frustrated that Kamala Harris was thrust into this position without having to compete for it in terms of any kind of primary.
She's got like the honorary.
Biden is not dead. Like, she shouldn't just be thrown into this running as if she has earned it.
They should have done the primary for her, but they didn't. She snuck her way in there. Yeah, so that was Kamala telling everybody to chant their own name because this is really about you. So
could you imagine if they had all actually done it too?
James, did you get the ads I sent you today over text? Can you pull those up? Because I want to contrast the two ads. So there have been two ads that were put out by both candidates in the last week. And I just want you to see the difference between these two ads. And I'm going to let you get a feel for what you think about them. TikTokers, we're obviously not able to share that stuff on TikTok, but you can hear it and you're going to hear us talk about it. If you have any questions on TikTok or you want to join up and talk to us about who you voted for, we both voted for Trump, and why you voted for who you voted for, we're willing to converse and we're
Tell
happy
us
to.
why we're wrong for voting for Trump.
Yeah, tell us why we're wrong. Prove me wrong. What was that show that guy did?
Joe Rogan questions everything.
No. Prove me wrong or whatever.
Are you smarter than a fifth grader?
Crowder, louder with Crowder. He did the prove me wrong
I don't
thing.
know
So
that
prove
James
us
has
wrong.
those
Prove us
clips
wrong
ready
for
to
voting
go.
for Trump.
I don't think we can use those clips. You got it?
Which one?
The ones I
Corey
texted
sent
you.
today.
Can you pull up
the ads.
Oh,
Okay.
Sweet. Let's do it.
Watch these ads. Contrast the two.
Okay, I can't pause it.
Tell me who cares more about America.
He said he can't pause them when they play.
Cool. Here we go.
Biden is asleep.
This is the Jim Heath Channel playlist of 2024 campaign ads.
What will we do with this moment? How will we be remembered? Look at the opportunities before us.
This election really isn't about the left versus the right. It's about we the people choosing our government and the choice between freedom versus tyranny.
Nobody has a chronic disease burden like we have. Why are we allowing this to happen to our children? Ultimately, the only thing that will save our country is if we choose to love our kids more than we hate each other.
What is going on here is deeper than politics. It is deeply spiritual. We are being called to rise above the hatred and the fear and the evil.
We need to remember above and beyond that we must love our neighbors, that we must treat other people as we hope to be treated.
You want to be a rebel? You want to be a hippie? You want to stick it to the man? Show up on your college campus and try calling yourself a conservative.
America is going to reach heights that it has never seen before. The future is going to be amazing.
Don't you want healthy children? Don't you want a president that's going to make America healthy again? The sweet emotion raining all over me.
I come to you today as a former Democrat. I will be a first-time Trump voter tonight.
The people dreamed this country, and it's the people who are making America great again.
All right, that brought a tear to my eye.
That
How
was
about
a
you?
great ad.
That was a good ad. We're a marketing company.
One of the I have a really, I think it'd be fair to say, a good friend. We grew up together. We played music together. We talked a lot about the upcoming election. He is a physician, so he's in residency. He is an MD, I believe, MDOD. and he actually really struggled. He was leaning towards Trump until actually RFK Jr. came on, and RFK Jr. has at the worst. He's been accused of sexual assault. I don't think he was ever convicted or there's any proof brought forth based on a like 6-hour podcast series that went through his whole biography of his family and him that I listened to every bit of. And the other thing, so that's significant to be aware of. And the other thing there is he became anti-vax at a certain point in his life, and he was a lawyer. He was not a scientist or anything, and so he became anti-vax, and he is that's been a big part of his platform. And he went to Samoa right before measles outbreak happened, a significant measles outbreak where a lot of kids died. I want to say it was close to 100 kids died, and because he was anti-vax and he was there and he met with the one of the leaders of that country, it's believed that he encouraged basically them not to vaccinate. And so they had this massive outbreak that a lot of kids died. So that's the worst. I believe that's the worst association out there about him. I listened through his full 3-hour Joe Rogan episode. And when I did that, he cited a lot of studies. And I actually went and found every single study that he cited and went and found if it still existed.
All of them?
All of them.
All right.
And I have all those notes. So we're probably gonna do a short episode on that if it's worthwhile. And you can cite a study and try to make a point, but the way that science progresses is a body of evidence, and it contradicts itself over time because it's meant to find individual important facts about things over time and learn more and more. So he did find some that are very, very compelling. And I think that maybe when he first came out with his anti-vax stance and when he went to Samoa, and if he was actually part of that, which he stated he's not, but I think he was. I have not looked at the timeline of those dates. I'm not sure if there's some conflation there, but it seems pretty compelling that he was a significant part of that happening. It seems like he has made some significant mistakes that cost people their lives in regards to vaccines, in regards to measles and Samoa. So all that to say, if he will not take responsibility for that, and that is a huge problem. When I listened to him, the first time I ever even heard of him was when he went on the Joe Rogan show and did that 2 or 3 hour segment, and I listened through that whole segment and read all the research, and the things he was saying, the studies he was citing are legitimate. The researchers in charge of those studies are people with very, very strong reputations that have very, very many published papers. And so he, at the very, very best, he was not involved in Samoa.
Like a lot of double words. Very, very.
Yeah. At the best, he wasn't involved in Samoa, and he never actually had a sexual assault thing. At the worst, both of those things happened. But what he's saying now seems to have some significance and traction. So I've had a really good conversation back and forth with my buddy on that. But that's been a big part of his decision on who he was going to vote for this year, because he's a physician and because he's observing everything that's going on in medicine in real time. So that was a significant, Kennedy brought a big audience with him along with Trump. But at the same time, he also, when it comes to the science world, I think he actually brought about less votes for Trump in terms of the academic and science world, which is kind of similar for the VP, J.D. Vance. He came out of the academia, so he came out of an Ivy League school, and those Ivy League schools, from what conservatives are saying, do not like it when their people come out and end up siding with the conservative movement.
No one can join the live. I just got on to see.
No one can join our live.
They can't request to speak with us.
Why can't you join our live? You know what? We love you guys.
We're going to allow you to join up and ask us questions. Why did you vote for who you voted for? We both voted for Trump. So let's talk about it. Why did you vote for who you voted for? You can put it in the comments. You can join live. Mary put, I think Trump will win. I hope he wins. We agree with
Corey
you,
Garner.
Mary.
You think Trump's going to win?
Corey said, I'm here. Corey, yeah, who do you think is going to win? That's not me. That's Corey G. All right, yeah, let's check out the polls here.
Corey G.
We think Trump's going to win too, Mary. I'm glad you chose me over your son, Matthew, here, because he's Kamala.
Your mother and your father, you must be willing to hate.
You can put the audio on, James.
Allow comments. How the crap do I let people into TikTok?
Oh, Pennsylvania.
The same high watermarks for Biden is, guys.
Yeah, Mark Lauder was just here. You know, you staffed Vice President Pence, that you're obviously a longtime Republican operative. You think there's not enough vote for her to make up that margin?
Well, there's still a lot out there. I'm just like, all of these things start to add up. It's like death by 1,000 cuts. And so if you drop 40,000 votes in this state, maybe 6,000 or county, this 6,000 in another, next thing you know, you run out of options. I'll leave it to the brilliant minds in the decision desk to figure it out. When that happens, I'm not nearly that good at math, but it's starting to look a little more encouraging. And when you see the Latino vote come in, when you see some of the closing of the gap with the young voters, it's starting to add up.
Well, let me just jump in on that, because there are several places, as we're starting to now at this point in the night get some trends across battlegrounds when it comes to exit polling, with all the necessary caveats that you have heard by now. And there's a few places where former President Trump is making improvements from his performance 4 years ago. It is Latino voters, as you talk about, Mark. It is voters under 30, as you talk about. It is independents. He doesn't mean he's winning them, but he's doing better than he was 4 years ago. Here's where her improvement is, and this is interesting. It's with seniors. It's with voters over the age of 65. And we're starting to see that trend for her.
You pointed to me when you said no, oh my gosh, Savannah, and I just want to let everyone know that we noticed.
Full disclosure, we talked about it in the commercial break like 2 hours ago. So it was more of a callback to something that I forgot we didn't say on the air because we're chit-chatting constantly. But the seniors piece of it is interesting, because think about who actually...
We're fixed. Okay. Willie, we invited you. Join up. Talk to us.
You said you're getting ready for school tomorrow. I think he dropped back out.
James.
He said he's got class early.
Will, get in here.
Ah, Will.
Talk to us.
Will, my wife attended the same university as you, and she said the day after Election Day at JMU.
They shut down, right?
No, but they canceled the liberal arts side, canceled a bunch of classes.
They had a quiet space for people to cry.
Yeah, there's we can just take the day and talk about how you feel about all this and everything. It was all very squishy. And then he went to the STEM side and nothing was different. Everyone was like, just go to your classes.
Corey says, Trump for the win for my wife and children. And then he says, however, no matter what happens, my faith will grow. That's right. Hey, whatever happens, God is sovereign. It's what he wanted to happen, and he's going to teach us through it, and we're going to glorify him through it. So pray for the country, no matter what happens. God was in charge when Christ was hung on a cross by the government. So, which then led to us all having propitiation for our sins.
He said a big word.
Propitiation, forgiveness.
Yes, I think that some Christians forget that God is sovereign. He raises up leaders. He knocks them down. And he's sovereign over it all, and that does not abdicate us from having to be active and participate in our civil government in the way that we're able to. That does not prevent past societies from rising up and destroying tyrannical governments. But regardless, I'm just inviting random people I see pop up here. If you want to jump in, share who you voted for, why, who you think's going to win. We are open to conversing. We are not aggressive people. So
I think that was Ashley. She's one of my we're like friends on here. She's pretty cool. I've seen her in a lot of faith chats. All right. So we showed the ad for Trump. Now show the one that the Avengers put out for Kamala.
Quick update. I'm looking at the AP, just the Google's posted AP. We're at 210 Trump electoral, 112 for Harris. Obviously, we're waiting for California, Oregon, Washington right there. I mean, I think we said between those you have like 82 or something total electoral votes. They're all going to be.
I got a text from one of my old youth kids, and she's now a youth leader. And she said, we are watching your election coverage, and the costumes are so good.
Thank you.
Should we wear these to youth? No, we should not. We should not wear these.
Who's got the better costume?
Yeah, who's got the better costume? Matt bought both of them, so good job.
James picked them out.
Good job, James.
Your hands are so manly and rough. Wow.
Because I'm Trump. Trump for the win. Do you want girl?
We broke Jamie.
I'm about to get like horrible comments because I was about to say, do you want girl hands for president? And that makes it sound like a girl
Wow.
can't be president.
It
I'm
sounds
not
like
saying
something
that.
Trump would say, though.
It does sound like something Trump would say. I'm not saying
He's
that.
doing the hands. He's doing the.
That's his
All
dance,
right.
right? Okay.
He's got Mary R.
gotta
I
send
think
that.
Trump will win. She hopes he wins. Full disclosure, this is my mother, and I love her. And
She's
she
the
watches
best.
everything we do online, and she's my supporter since before we had 40,000 online subscribers across our platforms.
We love you, Mary.
So all y'all are
we're not Catholic.
chopped liver compared to my
So,
mother.
Not Mama Mary. I'm just kidding. We love her too. James, where did I send that to you? Text? Yeah. Here we
So
go.
here's a good question. What do you think
sending
Trump is going to do day one when he gets in here? If he were to win, what do you think Trump will do day one? What do you think Kamala will do?
I'm about to send it to you. I'm on Matt's. Oh, you're on Matt's? Okay. And done. All right, we're about to also watch. So I don't know if you saw, but a minute ago we watched Trump's latest ad that was put out. It had a RFK and a few other people in there. The hot topic right now is like if you're voting for Trump, you're voting for all these.
Can you guys get Hoodie 4.0 claims?
Now we're
making ads.
Now we're about to see who backs Kamala. So which you get if you vote for Kamala, and this was her latest ad that the Avengers put out for.
I'm so awake right now. This Red Bull worked.
All right, let's watch this ad.
Jimmy!
Isabel, you still shouldn't have said her name. The lady who messaged me, who was in my
HIPAA violation.
HIPAA. This isn't medical. Are you still watching? I'm taking this jacket off. You're gonna see what Trump looks like.
No, you can't take the jacket off.
Trump will look cool with tattoos.
No,
it's hot.
No,
it's hot.
That's such a good
It's
costume.
a short sleeve.
That's so funny. No, take it off. That's hilarious.
No. All right, yeah. What would Trump look like with a beard?
She
Short
was
sleeves.
jacked with a beard.
Here we go. All right. Oh, also, like, I don't care if you guys want to put something in the chat and talk about Jesus. The election, has ramifications there too. We're going to talk to Scarlett Johansson.
What are you doing, James?
This is the ad.
Oh. All right, let's watch one of the Kamala ads.
Hi, you guys. Hi, Avengers.
Hey, Scarlett.
Jumping on the call.
Whoa. I think you mean assembling. Oh, that's pretty good. That was funny.
Scarlett, it is our pleasure to come together and to get the vote out this election done.
Yeah, how can we be of service? How about we start with what our voting plans are going to be, who we're going to bring to the polls with us, that sort of thing. I think Kamala Harris needs a catchphrase.
Oh, yes, definitely a catchphrase.
How about this? I'm just off the top of my head. I can do this all day. Shut up. I hate it. Okay. I mean, it's original, but what about something punchier like, oh, boom. You looking for this? Iron Man 2, everybody loved it. Okay, again, I think we're just trying to get out the vote.
Kamala forever.
That's better.
That's
Okay,
actually
how
pretty
about
good.
I'm down with democracy? It's just plain and simple. Okay, I like that.
It's hard to
argue with that. Kamala Harris down with democracy. Oh, yeah. I'm Kamala Harris, and I say down with democracy. I don't know if that sounds the way we want it to sound, though.
I think we just need, can we get some production now?
Jarvis, my name's not channel this before.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Down with democracy. Down with democracy.
Is that what we mean, though? Yeah, together we're going to tear down democracy. Will you stop playing heroic music under yourselves? I'm Kamala Harris, and I am down with democracy. Did I sound enough like her?
All right. So
That was an ad for her?
Yeah. So you've got Kamala, you got Trump, his cool ad, patriotic. He did the right thing. His dumpster truck that he drove around because Biden said everyone who votes for Trump is trash, but they're supposed to be unifying the country.
My mom said you had to put down an orange vest because of the trash thing.
What? Got to put on. I got to put on an orange vest. Do we have one around here?
No.
But yeah. So and then now you've got the Avengers who said down with democracy. Mary, if you bring me an orange vest, I'll put one on. Look at this tie. How I tied the tie. Just tried to throw that on like a minute before the live.
Yeah, I was really impressed by Trump's media was inflammatory in 2016. I think he broke a lot of things politically that were not good to break. But a conservative could make the argument that it was good that he broke some things. He broke the status quo and made some noise. But at the same time, he did the garbage one. He did the McDonald's one. The Kamala ad I saw shared how she had basically as I'm forgetting the name, not lieutenant governor, as attorney general in California, how she had leveraged her power basically to punish parents whose kids miss school. And the way she talks about it is crazy sounding. We should join that. We should share that.
Hey, Audrey, or who's this? Yeah, Audrey said, sorry, can't join. Just wanted to say hi. Hi, Audrey. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, that ad is crazy. We should show that one. And I had heard things about her as attorney general, but that one seemed like it just solidified significant.
Willie, you told us you were getting ready for class. You're still on here watching. You could have talked to us. You are afraid to speak.
Willie, did you vote?
Yeah, who'd you vote for, Will? Put who you voted for in the comments. We're gonna get a running tally of our 100 people watching us tonight of who voted for who. Matt and I both voted for Trump. Don't let the wig to. Hey, dude, Chase Oliver hasn't won anywhere yet. Wow, that's crazy. Or Jill Stein. Green Party. What is the Green Party? What do they stand for?
I honestly, the only thing I know about them, and just so everyone who's watching this stream knows, we don't claim to be political officials. We are lay people. We are biblical lay people trying to bring a biblical perspective to current events. So if we say we don't know, that's just us being honest. We're not trying to say something that we don't understand. I do know that they seem to be very environmentally oriented, and so they're going to be making decisions that are going to benefit the environment. But what does the green? Let's find out. Anyone can do this.
Don't talk for just a second. Okay, we're good.
So the Green Party promotes green politics, environmentalism, nonviolence, social justice, participatory democracy, grassroots democracy, anti-war, anti-racism. So kind of what I guess maybe you would have classified as like hippie type things.
Your mom gave us an update, 242 to 108. Trump's in the lead. That's a blowout right now.
Yeah, I think it's gonna.
Yeah, what's gonna happen?
California, when these West Coast states drop, I mean, it's like 82. I think
I get to punch you a
that's
lot
all gonna
right
go
now.
Straight for
the
that.
game.
We are not doing a punching game.
Are anyone
Y'all be making content plans and not telling me about them, then saying you're gonna put sniffing salts in my butt and punching me.
No one said that. No one said the sniffing
It
salts.
was hyperbole.
That's ridiculous.
All right, we have sniffing salts.
Weirdo. All right. Hey, do we have any that are like 100%? Because I think we should punch for that. Like the 100% of the votes have come in for.
Will said, "Hey guys, did you buy followers on YouTube?" Yes, we ran paid campaigns to get our content.
We didn't buy. I mean,
followers.
they were ads.
They're real people. They are real people. But yes, we paid ads because we're a paid media company, and we figured out a way to get ourselves followers.
Join the live.
4 cents a piece. When you can get followers for 4 cents a piece and grow your base, you should do that. Will, join the call. What are you doing? What are you doing right now?
Join this live. I want to know who you voted for and why. Also, do you like Trump with tattoos? Did that? As soon as we found out if Will's actually going to join or not, he said, okay, that's good. If he's not going to, we need to go and check in with the Daily Wire and get an update.
All of the Western states that are going to be these 82 electoral votes immediately, which if you take 82 at Harris's 113, I mean, you're looking at 195 in an instant at 11 p.m. when these 3 states drop in. So that only gives you a 15 state.
It's going to come down to like Pennsylvania. What's Pennsylvania? Yeah, it's slightly red right now.
Pennsylvania is 50.7 to
Will,
48.3.
he did it. Hey, Will.
What's up, man?
Yeah, let's turn his volume up.
I had to register in person to vote, so I voted for Kamala.
You voted for
to
Kamala?
Show voter ID?
Actually, I think I only had to show my just like my driver's license.
Yeah.
How many times did you vote for Kamala?
3 or 4.
3 or 4. Were you one of the ones who were lighting those boxes on fire in those conservative areas so people couldn't vote?
Yeah, more towards like Augusta County, like Fort Defiance area.
Yeah.
Why'd you vote?
That was on me.
Why'd you vote for Kamala?
I am really ambitious about war, and I really want to go to war, but I'm too nervous to sign up. So like, I'll be forced to go to war once she's elected.
You'll be forced?
Yeah, I'll be drafted.
Okay. I thought. Never mind. I'm gonna get.
But you didn't think that like Kamala talking on the phone with Putin and telling him no the day before
She
they
said
invaded
don't. She
Ukraine?
said don't.
You don't think that was effective?
No, she said don't.
She said
Yeah,
don't.
you don't think that was effective? I thought that would stop all the war.
What did
if she
Trump
said
say?
don't.
We're gonna bomb the bad word out of him.
Yeah, I don't think that was Putin or Ukraine, but
Also, like with everything in the Middle East, he like showed someone a satellite picture of their house, like a leader in the Middle
It's like
East.
I'm gonna blow you
yeah, I
up.
remember him telling that
Yeah.
story.
What did he say?
Yeah.
Budagi
What do you-
or Budaddy.
What is Kamala gonna do for America?
No way. What's your favorite thing about Kamala?
Okay, honestly, the only one good thing that I've seen her advocate is she will put down $25,000 in assistance to first-time home buyers. I think that could be.
Will, we're looking for funny answers here, Will. Okay? That was too serious. Jacob Fry. He said I make a good Trump. Thanks, Jake. Hey, Jacob, if you want to, let us know who you voted for. You don't have to. But if you want to let us know who you voted for and why, or if you want to know like anything, if you want us to talk about anything, just put it in the comments. Thanks for joining to watch. Thank you. Does he make a good Kamala, or did you think that was his actual hair? I want to know that too.
Willy Dilly. So one of the reasons we were on a live yesterday and we had a woman named Paula join up, and she was kind of saying what she liked about Kamala, but she couldn't say anything specific. She just said generally, and then we got to the abortion topic, and she's like, well, don't even get me started there. It seems like a lot of blue voters at this point are voting based off of abortion, women's rights, that kind of thing. They're also voting off of just the general, they feel chauvinism.
The thing about the abortion is
Oh, that was his hair.
isn't going to issue a nationwide abortion ban. Right? He's not going to do anything with Roe v. Wade. The only thing he's going to do is going to send it back to the states, almost like the style of the Articles of Confederation.
Yeah. I have a friend who leans more left now, and I met him for coffee. I tried to actually have a lot of conversations with people that thought different. No, different guy.
Oh, never mind.
And so I actually drove like an hour and a half. We got together, and his point about the whole return it to the states thing, he was like, this is basically just a conservative straw man. Like conservatives like, yes, it should be returned to the states, but in reality, conservatives want to eradicate abortion, and they're just basically using that to say, oh, it was good that it's in the state's hands, but they don't really care about that. Like they would have rather just be abolished. And I was like, I think it's a very fair point. Yeah,
Corey's
I think that most.
One thing that a lot of liberals use in an argument against that is they're like, oh, if slavery was.
I thought you voted for Kamala. A lot of liberals. What do you mean?
Okay, this is my argument against it. Hello.
Is that Elena?
My roommate's in here.
Oh, that's a guy. Sorry.
Roommate.
Sorry. I
Who'd
called
you vote
Elena.
for, roommate?
How's it going?
Good. Who'd you vote for?
I voted for Donald Trump.
Oh my gosh. Are you a racist?
I guess so.
Where's the trash can?
It's in the other room.
That's good. Glad you voted for Trump.
Corey Garner. 5 sentences. Why'd you vote for who you voted for?
Nice wig, Matthew. Chuck will join in just a minute. We're going to get another. Corey, who'd you vote for?
I voted for Trump.
Why?
Because I do believe that you will still have choice. I don't think that anybody's going to lose their freedoms that they have now. I don't think that that's the side that they're voting on. And I think what I'm looking at it from is what's going to help me and my family more and the hardworking American citizens at the end of the day.
Oh, there's
And
another friend
also
trying to join.
seeing how the least how little we helped an economic crisis that just happened, or a catastrophic crisis that just happened in our country. What was another big thing for me?
Yeah, but trans people aren't going to be able to exist anymore if he wins.
That's where
You ain't got nothing to say.
Coming from is the fact that you're not going to lose anything. There's still going to be
Jacob.
abortion places. There's still going to be abortion. I believe it. I believe that. I don't think that it's ever going to be abolished at this point in time, and especially over the next 4 years. And it's not like that presidential candidate can actually do those things. So I'm looking at what the way that they can affect me, my wife, my children, my community over the next 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, we got to all fill up our gas tank and buy groceries, and that everybody's felt that. And there's all these talking points around that, but like, well, Trump was handed this economy, Kamala was handed this economy, yada, yada, or Biden. But at the end of the day, it's the president's job to run the country, and things were a lot more affordable. Everything was a lot more affordable when Trump was in office, and he just stands for a lot more of the beliefs that I hold. He's not completely, not at all completely, but like he's not even professing follower of Christ, but he does stand for a lot more than Kamala does. Kamala's pretty radical. She's okay with like 9-month abortions, which I know, again, like that's back to the States, but
Show me where I said that.
Where you said you're okay with 9 months.
I'm going to be Kamala now, and we're going to fight.
It's like fist fight?
How can you all support a misogynistic bully who has been held liable?
You're supposed to say felon.
Who's been held liable for sexual assault and a felon?
Because that's how bad you are.
There was an interview where Harris said she wanted to remove religious exemptions for abortion providers. So basically that would force employers to pay for abortions. It would force Christian doctors to perform abortions. She went on record and said that. Now she tried to walk it back later, but she went on record and said that.
And our tax dollars would pay for.
Show me a source.
Fox.
Kamala.
Oh, hold on. Let's go. Let's get an update. We're gonna pause the conversation. You guys can stay in, but we're gonna get an update from Daily Wire. Can you pull up the Daily Wire and have it?
Very first thing that Barack Obama did was just give up the victory.
Yeah, right.
He gave up the victory, but the Iraq War was over. And had Barack Obama not given up the victory, our view of the Iraq War today would be much, much different. In other words,
talking about
if Bush had done everything that Bush did, but then Barack Obama had done anything different than he did, our view of that war would be different. And Afghanistan is obviously not an actual nation. It's a completely different thing.
There we go.
You know, there wasn't really a democratic election in South Korea. Didn't become a democracy
for several decades.
We have got votes dumping in now in terms of California and Washington. Harris just jumped up to 179. So we're seeing those West Coast states like we were expecting with their large populations. I think there's.
Did you guys notice that California has 0% reporting and it's already for Kamala Harris?
Yeah, they're not really worried about California. They're just like, we might as well call it. They said they're supposed to have their, according to the different news articles, they were supposedly going to be turning in around 11. So they,
well, they've called North Carolina, but this doesn't show what North Carolina is called, which doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't know. This is just the AP one that Google uses. Where are you guys looking for your electoral votes?
I'm looking at the AP one. I think that's the most unbiased.
You don't mean, what about Fox?
CNN is not the source of truth.
A lot of people are talking about the Timcast one. It's what is it called?
You can't leave, Chuck. It pauses your live if you leave.
Decision Desk HQ is the one people are talking about. That's the one I think Daily Wire is using. It seems like it's quoting higher numbers. Like the electoral count is a little higher on that than it is on the AP one. I've been switching back and forth between that one and the AP to kind of get like a real number. But dude, PA is a toss-up. I think it's going to come down to PA.
Yeah, I think so too. And you know what's funny about that, Chuck, is she did not pick Shapiro as her running mate, and she would have won PA if she did. Because he's.
Oh yeah, no, dude, that's absolutely going to hurt her.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that is because she would have lost the anti-Semitic left. I don't know if I can say that on TikTok, but she would have lost the anti-Semitic elements of the left if she.
You just said it. So.
If she did that.
Hey, we got a comment here.
You
Sorry.
interrupted Chuck.
Sorry, Chuck.
Finish your thought, Trump.
Go ahead, Chuck.
Trump is always interrupting people.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. So it'll be interesting to see. But I think that's part of it. Is people probably feel slighted by that. And, he's kind of a moderate, from what I've heard. My parents
Who is?
lived in
Shapiro.
PA.
Yeah, he's
right
more of a
after
moderate, I
left, and
think,
he's
too.
kind of a moderate, and she's not. So I don't know if
Neither
that
is
might be part of the reason why she didn't
Waltz.
pick him anyway.
But hey, I was trying to interrupt you because I was going to read a woman's comment because women need to be uplifted.
Wow. Can you just Can I speak now?
Holly Michelle
Can I-
said, no, I'm talking. Holly Michelle said, I'd be very surprised if Trump doesn't win. There's been a huge cultural shift. I agree with that. The last couple of years in his favor, and famous people have been praising him. Did you know that church numbers for the first time in I don't know how many years, but in a long time are actually at an incline, church membership? And they did a poll in Maine across all the high schools, and Trump won in Maine by overwhelming majority. So I think we're probably about to see a shift. I agree with you, Holly. What did Mary say?
We got I asked earlier what
Benny
sources
Johnson.
you're using for where you're looking at electoral college votes, and Mary R said they're using Benny Johnson, following his live, because it's probably better than ours because we're not political commentators.
Christy said she likes your wig.
I feel really pretty, but I feel like
quit that.
I feel like you know what?
The world's confused.
You know
enough.
what? Women can be confident if they want to, and you don't get to denigrate me like that.
You're
you
ugly.
misogynist.
You're ugly.
It's
like a
yeah,
train.
I feel like my skin could be a little darker.
Hey guys,
I'm a little
Corey,
pale.
do you think he should stop?
I'm a little pale.
Hey guys, I was listening.
Will's like, I gotta go.
Have y'all thought about what if she goes on her period, and conflicts are really high?
How old is she?
Oh, I forgot she was older. That's
I've heard that concern before. What do you
Really?
think?
I've never heard
I
this.
have. I've heard that concern.
I'm just shocked that you said that.
We're on every channel right now. Our boom mic is right above us.
I'm gonna-
Every channel can hear.
I'm
you.
gonna try and bring this to a reasonable thought here. I have read articles written by female Olympians, who say their performance at the Olympics becomes incredibly hard when they end up experiencing a period during the Olympics. So there is a real effect in athletics and performance for that. And some female Olympians do feel that is somewhat of an unfair thing, because it's something they can't really, they can, in some ways they can try and prevent it, and in other ways they just really can't stop it. So yeah, Holly Michelle said, I'd be very surprised. What's that?
I said it's really hard when a man can be
Oh, dude, Kamala Harris is 60 years old. I did not know that.
Holly,
I just looked that up too. I thought she was more like 40.
one of our
she's
one of
got
our
that young look.
No, you look old as crap.
I'm beautiful.
One of our ladies,
I moisturize.
Holly, who's watching on YouTube, said I'd be surprised if she still had that. She's probably hit
she's probably
menopause.
past that.
I don't know how long. Look up when the women typically go through.
It's taking a
menopause.
weird turn right now.
Holly, do you know when people typically start? My mom
Anywhere from 7 to 14 years.
But when does that typically start though? So 50, 45?
Between the ages of 45 and 55.
She could still have it.
She could be in the last
She's-
year.
What is this picture?
Late 40s to 50s. What do you
Kamala's-
got going here, James?
Kamala's on communion.
Let's turn this on for a second and see what we're
She
looking
said
at,
she.
James.
Holly knows. Are you a doctor, Holly?
She's looking unburdened.
She just
looks like. Be unburdened, we asked. And this
Did
is
you
what she
say
did.
just a
So,
woman?
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
for sending
she
that
has
in, to us.
a
We
good
learned
understanding
earlier that you have no idea how
All
to
it
use
takes is to
phones.
be a woman to
So-
know about physiology. We know about testosterone when that drops off because we're men.
Boys, I don't want to miss a call. 63% in. Donald Trump up 2.5 points in Wisconsin. 63% in. You're starting to break away. It's starting to break away. It's becoming mathematically impossible for Camilla.
I'm getting excited.
I'm not that good.
Did he
at
just
math.
say Camilla?
Holy smokes!
Did you say Camilla?
Holy!
How disrespectful to the.
I'm losing. I'm losing.
Oh, this is the live that Chris Rescott is watching. My dad.
I'm losing words right now to describe
this guy.
how locked in we are.
Chuck and Corey and Will.
Keep pause that.
What do y'all think Donald Trump and Kamala Harris would do day one in office? What do you think they're signing?
You're right, Christy, by the way. Christy says, sorry, a woman that I have to uplift says most people we're voting for haven't been, because you don't care, haven't been,
you don't care about women,
haven't been a part. I don't want them to kill their kids. Haven't been a part of normal life in about 60 plus years and can't relate. Yeah, neither Trump or Kamala have been a part of normal life, but Trump has owned many businesses, and I think would have
his businesses failed. He went bankrupt.
Corey sent us a picture of Trump Tower today because he's in Vegas, and it looks like it's doing pretty well.
What do y'all think? What do y'all think Trump's doing day one if he gets in?
I had heard
War.
a friend of mine said there were some executive orders that had made it that, like, if they were repealed, they would make it easier. Like, they would not squeeze the economy as much. I'm trying to remember what they were. Like, I think there were some things. I think the EV mandate is one of them. Like, I think if he rescinded like some of the EPA EV mandates and stuff, that would I don't know. I'd have to look. I don't know for sure.
Did somebody just say in the background, "You guys are stupid"?
She said those are stupid.
Oh,
EV mandates.
I thought somebody else in the live was like, "You guys are stupid."
No, that's Christy in the background. All right, guys.
Now you're good.
So it's so yeah, I think a lot of it is done through executive power now. Like, that's been the trend since Obama, actually probably since Bush. You know, a lot of power is wielded just by executive order. So a lot of what Biden did, Trump could undo the first week in office, because it didn't go through Senate or anything. It was just kind of like, hey, I'm the king now. I'm going to do this, and you're going to do what I want.
And I'll drop my ice cream.
What do you think Kamala does day one in office?
Honestly, I'll be real with you guys. I think if she wins, they're going to tell her to sit in the corner and shut up and not do any damage, because I don't even think the Democrats think she'll do a good job.
It'd be like, first woman president. Now, please don't do anything.
I think they understand how much of a disaster she is. There's a reason Biden wasn't removed from office during these 4 years, because they realized that a Harris presidency would be a disaster. And the only reason she's running is because they couldn't hide how bad he was after the debate. So I honestly think if she wins, they're going to tell her to just shut up and sit in the corner and sign what they tell her to.
You know what's crazy about that, Chuck, is she had the power at any point in time to invoke the 25th Amendment, knowing darn well he was not mentally fit to run the country. And they lied the whole time, saying he was going to run this campaign out to the end until they knew he was going to lose. And then he stepped down. And then still they haven't invoked the 25th Amendment, because knowing that's why he stepped down, because they know that it makes him look bad, that they kept this guy who's struggling with probably Alzheimer's in office for as long as they did, just to use him as a puppet. So that's insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, hey, and if you guys are in the watching the live on TikTok, oh, go ahead, Corey.
And I think that Trump is going to put a complete pause on this immigration coming into. I think there's going to be something major done with that. Is what I think probably one of his first things that he's going to be focusing on. Is all these admissions that are coming in.
Did you guys see the clip where that guy, I always forget his name, silver hair, real handsome dude, I think he's gay. You won't get me with that devil's magic. Oh, it still got me some. Where he was like, why did you sign the bill that contributes $500 million more to Trump's border wall? And she was like, I don't remember the exact quote. But he was like, he's got some good ideas or something like that. And they're like, but you literally said it was stupid. And then they like gave her the exact quote. And when she said the quote and everything, and it was real uncomfortable, because he was I don't know if he's CNN, but I think he was a liberal commentator, news anchor. Yeah, Anderson Cooper. That's
He
what it was.
still does talk shows. I don't think he's gay. Oh, actually, I don't know.
No, you're Don Lennon or Lennon?
No, Anderson Cooper. Silver
Hey,
Fox.
Who is the guy?
If that has an association with it, that I don't know.
Yeah, Anderson
about.
Cooper's gay.
Yeah.
He is. I'm just saying.
I was today years old when I learned that.
Chuck, who's the guy as well that was mad at Trump and ran? I can't remember the whole story, but he ran on a specific issue. And when he was mad at Trump because Trump basically trashed him, and when Trump tried to get the issue that person ran on passed, they voted it down because they were so bitter. Do you remember that?
I don't. That's not specific enough.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't remember any names from it. I'm horrible with names.
Let's see how this works. I pulled this up, James. Let's see if I can do this easily.
Why don't you let James do his job?
I just want to see how
Send
it works.
to James.
I just want to see. I just.
At Vistaprint, we print signs so people can
everybody's
we
watching.
actually just
that.
bought some.
so that people can see your business here, see it here,
All
and
right.
see it here.
Well,
so you
Vistaprint
stand
got
out,
free ad in
even
our
when they're way
super high live
back
stream.
here. Get 20%.
All right. Here we go.
Includes $650 million in funding for the border wall. That's something Republicans wanted. That was part of the compromise. Under Donald Trump, you criticized the wall more than 50 times. You called it stupid, useless, and a medieval vanity project. Is a border wall stupid?
Well, let's talk about Donald Trump and that border wall. So remember, Donald Trump said Mexico would pay for it? Come on, they didn't. How much of that wall did he build? I think the last number I saw is about 2%. And then when it came time for him to do a photo op, you know where he did it? In the part of the wall that President Obama built.
But you're agreeing to a
come
bill
on.
that would earmark $650 million to continue building that wall.
I pledge that I am going to bring forward that bipartisan bill to further strengthen and secure our border. Yes, I am. And I'm going to work across the aisle to pass a comprehensive bill that deals with a broken immigration system. I think Jackson's question, part of it was to acknowledge that America has always had migration, but there needs to be a legal process for it. People have to earn it.
According to the
And that's the
Electoral
point
College,
that I think is the most important point that can be made, which is we need a president who is grounded in.
Important note here. Hasn't she been in charge of immigration for the last 3 years?
Well, when did he put her in charge of that? I don't think it was 3 years ago.
Can you find out, James? When did she get put in charge?
Also,
of
make sure he's gay, because if we said Anderson Cooper's gay and he's not, then that's false advertising.
Anyway, that was a false advertising. We don't know if he's actually gay.
Look it
I've
up.
just
Look
heard-
up.
I don't. Who
Just
cares?
look up if he's gay, because we said he's gay. Takes 2 seconds.
Maybe he's non-binary. He
Yeah.
came out as gay in 2012, the most prominent gay journalist on American television.
Good job, Chuck. Chuck didn't know.
Isn't that funny how we can have these blind spots? Like you just
Corey said, "Let me
don't
back
know."
in. Christy said there's a reason, or Christy said that there's a reason that her accomplishment book is empty. Yeah, that is true. All right, let's. He is. Holly said he is. Holly knows everything. Holly knows he's gay.
I like Holly.
We didn't have to look it up. All right. Do you want to put the audio on for? Is this what is this? Charlie Kirk.
Yeah. Real quick, I wanted to respond to Holly's earlier comment. I'd be very surprised if Trump doesn't win. This would be a huge cultural shift. That's something that both Joe Rogan and Elon Musk have kind of echoed for really the last couple of years. I started listening to Joe Rogan probably 2, maybe 3 years ago, and I really only listen to the scientists that come on there, some of the academics like the physicists.
We flipped 2 seats already in the Senate.
Nice.
And it was surprising, and they have both said we've been Democrats our entire life and we have not changed, but the party has shifted further and further over, which is making us seem more conservative.
Trump was liberal.
Yeah, and so that seems like a big shift there. And honestly, the culture of death, transgenderism, all of that stuff has been a huge, get away from just the abortion topic, but transgender ideology, the stuff that they want to teach your kids in school, when you really don't need to be teaching them about anything sexually speaking in school until they're nearing an age where that's important, and really their parents should be doing it anyway, not the school. It's the kind of that stuff that's driving the conservative who used to be maybe more close to middle of the range, or the liberal who used to be closer to the middle of the range, just seeming more and more conservative. Like, they're not changing, but those people are. But those policies are.
Dude, you know how many old gays, and I use that word in quotes, I've talked to who don't like people that have been gay for like 20 years, and they hate like the new trans stuff. Like, they're like, this doesn't, like, they're like, this isn't, they don't speak for us. Like, they hate it just as much as like conservative straight people do. And I think that's where a lot of this is miscalculated, where like, when that started getting shoved down people's throats, a lot of people who are otherwise on the fence were like, okay, this isn't cool. I mean, we saw that.
Wait, who is that? Who came in?
When Youngkin won on that issue, in schools, the transgender bathrooms in schools. So, and we saw that. So I think that's indicative of that cultural shift.
Look how much of this map is
Sniffy
red.
MMA. You're welcome to join up. Tell us what you think. Who you voted for? If you don't want to say that, who you think's going to win? Why you think it's going the way it's going? Feel free to jump in. Yeah. All right. Let's watch this. Let's see where we're at. We'll share. We have anything that's actually reporting on It's actually reporting on it right now. All right, let's get a clip here.
Supporters, his family and friends, despite a race that remains uncalled. I'm also told, NBC News can also report, that he's in discussions with his aides and advisors about when he might make the trip across the bridge here to West Palm Beach to give some form of speech tonight. Now, we have been asking him about this day after day. Would he declare victory early? Would he rule out the possibility of declaring victory early? We all remember him doing that exactly that in 2020 when so much of the vote remained to be counted. He has refused to take an early declaration of victory off the table, and it's our understanding now that conversations are underway for him to make some kind of address here tonight, regardless of where we are on the path to 270 votes.
All right, Garrett, thank you so much. And we're joined now by podcast host John Lovett and Dan Pfeiffer, both White House veterans. I believe we have them right now. Oh, not yet. We're going to go to,
Sorry.
They're coming up.
We're going to go
Peter.
to Peter Alexander.
Peter Alexander, get the view from the Harris headquarters. It sounds like Donald Trump is talking about coming out and saying something. What are you hearing from the Harris campaign?
That's 3,000 votes. Less than that. Yeah, well, I always defer to the Pod Save America guys. If they want to go, you let me know when they're ready. But we are waiting to hear, of course, from Kamala Harris at some point over the course of this evening. No indication when that would happen. Some early indications it might happen in the course of this hour. No confirmation on that at this time. We'll keep you posted as we know. I will tell you, though, in the course of the last 15 minutes, NBC News did obtain a memo that was sent out by the chair of the Harris campaign, Jen O'Malley Dillon, the woman who orchestrated Joe Biden's victory in 2020. This was sent to staff, and it gives you a sense of where they are heading into.
I feel like I'm watching fantasy football, my fantasy football score, and every time I got to go to sleep to find out if I won or not, which happened against Corey Garner's wife last week, and I did win. That was a close game. We're at 3,000 likes.
Well,
I have a lot of them. You can like it more than once, like a single person.
I think I've liked it over 1,000 times.
I think I have 2,000.
Let's go, Will.
Will, we're the only two. There was like 18 likes before I started liking when none of y'all had gotten in yet. But
who's Logan Terry? He's checking in on Facebook.
I know that name. How do I know that name?
I think you're our mutual friend.
Let me see him. Pull him up. Did something happen? They say something?
Drink?
Oh,
James
is like, give me a drink. I'm
boost.
sleepy. All right. There you go. Where's Logan Terry at? I can tell you. I'm pretty sure he's my friend.
He sent me a friend request. I don't see him.
We probably shouldn't be saying his name.
Oh, no.
I'm going to pop up new.
Sorry.
We're
still getting used to it.
Wow. It looks very much as the Detroit Free Press reporter Niraj Wariku reports that Kamala Harris will not win the south end of Dearborn.
Whoa.
It's an area that is 90+% Muslim that Biden won with 88% of the vote 4 years ago.
Good.
And that vote is instead going to the best Jew of all, Jill Stein.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's
this is actually
something you can't be psychotic enough for the psychotic, you stupid asses.
Well, this is also there's another point.
my first thought there was, well, if it's predominantly Muslim, they're probably not going to vote for a woman in general, culturally speaking. But then they said Jill Stein is who they're going for.
That's who flipped it. Who was the cause for the flip? I think is what they're saying.
Wow.
For that county, that was for a county.
Yeah. Okay, now we got Washington, Oregon, and California in. They're calling it for all three. Apparently, the AP is. And our electoral run is at 230, 187. 230 Trump, 187 Harris.
He's still winning in Pennsylvania.
Nevada is expecting, that's a key race. They're expecting results. Georgia, we're still waiting on. Virginia has not been called yet, but she's taking a run. She's getting a lead ahead in Virginia. It's at 77%.
Chuck, call your family in Pennsylvania. Call the Amish. Get them all to vote.
All the
Chuck's not Amish, but there's a lot
That's
of Amish.
all we have there.
Wait, where's Chuck? Chuck left. He went to bed.
VA voted for Harris, but it was 50% to Trump, 48. Okay, so it looks like Chrissy 5%. Some people have called Virginia on some. We're just looking at the
They did on this one right here.
Okay, yeah. So Virginia went to Harris, pretty close, 2%, but
they still have less votes for Harris on this one.
But they're only at 77% reporting on the AP. So I don't know.
Yeah, but it's probably like Nova. It's probably Nova or something that hasn't come in with y'all liberal. Nova is Northern Virginia, for those of you that don't know. Look at that. The whole state's red other than Northern Virginia and freaking Richmond. That's where all the people are.
Just push Alexandria out into
Maryland.
Yeah.
Donald Trump, you know that land doesn't vote, right?
William Golden.
Well,
what did I even say? I know that the people in the land vote.
PA is at 51.2 Trump, 47.9 Harris. Then we got get out of here.
I'm trying to see if we have any
Stop
comments.
Sticking Nova and Richmond ruin everything.
Holly, are you in
Amen.
Virginia? She said, "Yep." Yeah, we need to kick. Those Northerners further north.
I think Holly's local.
Oh, maybe climate change there will be like a break off from the northern part of Virginia and it'll go into Maryland because of climate change.
Yeah, or like
you care about that, right?
Tectonic plates will shift and greenhouse gases will just cause a volcano to pop up right between the two.
Kamala cares about that.
Yeah, she's in Stan.
That's where
she's posted on some of our Facebook stuff in the Stan group. Wisconsin's at 50.9 for Trump, 47.6 Kamala, 66 reporting. That's a key race. Michigan, 52.3 Donald, 46%.
How many
Kamala,
electoral college votes?
15 for Michigan, 10 for Wisconsin, 10 for Minnesota. So it's all 35. Three still waiting to be called, at least according to the AP.
That puts them at
265, 15, 25, 35 on those northern states.
Which Georgia?
Georgia is 16.
He wins if he gets all those.
Yeah, so he's got looks like a 1 to 2%, maybe 3% lead in a lot of those. Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. Here we go.
Well, it went away.
It's gone now.
Okay, you all saw it, maybe.
And Arizona, he's got a 0.2% percentage lead, so that one's really tight.
Arizona is where
votes.
That's where Apologia Church is. And Apologia, they. What does that say? Projected winners, Donald. Well, of course, that's of Texas. Or is that a projected winner in general?
Wisconsin, Michigan, too close to call.
But anyway, Arizona is where Apologia Church is, and they've been putting in a ton of work politically over there.
Hey, I want you to tell me why you're not voting for Kamala.
Me?
And I'm gonna rebuff you. Rebut you.
You want me to or someone else?
Anyone. You can start. You all think of your arguments against Harris. I'm going to defend her.
Because she is pro. Well, we just had 4 years of her cabinet and her whole presidency.
But does the vice president really get to make those calls?
They do, and the president's brain dead.
The vice president is the president of the House. Yes, she has plenty of calls to make. You know how many?
What calls did I make that you disagree with in the last 3 years?
I don't know. Groceries, gas, everything's more expensive. All the political leaders of every other country.
You think that my decisions increase the cost of grocery?
I'm answering your question.
How did my decision increase the cost of grocery? She cackles. That's why I didn't vote for her.
Mary's a savage.
Some things you're just using your intuition, and
Hey, you know why?
How dare you insult my laugh? I'm a lady, and you don't like my laugh just because I'm a lady.
Because everything was more expensive. She doesn't even know what's going on. She doesn't even answer
all the things you're experiencing are a product of the 4 years prior to when I came in. I'm doing damage control.
When you came in.
I'm doing damage control for Trump's horrible policies.
I could buy a house when you came in. Now I can't.
You think that's my fault?
Yes.
I think that's Trump's fault.
Oh,
and
Biden?
we've just been working on recovering it. You know what?
Your president?
What you got? Throw it at me.
All right, let's watch a funny video. James, pull up a funny video. This is dumb.
You're just gonna ignore me.
Yeah.
I just want to say that I still can't buy a house.
Will's 19. Are you 20
I
yet?
feel that as the owner of this company and the fact that he works here.
You can't even buy a soda. At the point Will's at, right?
Will is a part-time employee, and the only reason he can't buy a soda is because he's in school full-time right now. Anyway, let's watch a funny clip. What you got for us, James?
Do me a favor. Do you know Elon Musk? Yes. He endorsed me. By the way, he gave me the nicest endorsement, too. The tough. He said the country's going to fail. You should do the same thing, Joe, because you cannot be voting for Kamala. Kamala, you're not a Kamala person. I know you. I've watched you. I know him better than he is. You know what? Without speaking to you, I think I know you maybe almost as well as your wife. I have watched you for so many years. You're not a Kamala person. You're a Khabib person, but you're not a Kamala person.
Donald Trump asked Joe Rogan.
Dude, he is the most cocky human being.
Do we really want to go back
I know you
to this old boys club where they just sit in their rooms and smoke their cigars and say, we're just not going to let women into office? Do we want to go back there?
When did they say they're not going to let women in office?
When they said you're not a Kamala person.
So?
They didn't say why.
Is there a guy you don't like?
I think they have a problem with me because I'm a lady.
Is there a guy you don't like? Do you like Trump?
As Kamala or Matthew?
As Kamala. Do we have a
No, Trump is a horrible, chauvinistic predator.
Does that mean you don't want men in office?
No.
You just said because we don't like Kamala, we don't want women in office.
Yeah.
Oh, sounds like your argument sucks.
I'm confused. It's too late for this. I'm 60 years old.
Tell Savannah to get in here so you can hear something from a woman's perspective.
Savannah, tell us why you would vote for a misogynist.
He's
for
in
a
Las
horrible
Vegas. Is she with him?
misogynist. There's Savannah.
He's not with him.
Let's invite Savannah. I'm not your love bug, but I'm inviting you.
She's saying that to Corey. You know better.
Savannah,
Corey
how
said-
can a woman in this day and age
Hold on, she's loading up.
vote for
Gosh, the
how
impatience.
can a woman vote for that racist, misogynist, blonde-haired piece of garbage?
Savannah has blonde hair.
Oh my goodness.
How could you vote for me, Savannah?
Am I supposed to be honest?
Yes, you don't have to be dumb like Kamala.
Oh. Okay.
We know you're a conservative woman.
Well, if you were a liar, just be like every other conservative.
My views don't line up with Miss Kamala's as far as her socialist policies. I don't believe in abortion. I don't think that she's very good necessarily as a person. I think that the way that she has gained her followers is by just basically backing the fact that she isn't Trump.
Yeah, that's all she's done.
Her plan for running a country isn't necessarily, she doesn't necessarily have.
I was going to say that. She doesn't have a plan.
Donald Trump said, we're going to figure it out. We have some ideas of a plan, but we're not there yet.
We saw 4 years of it. And our groceries were cheaper. Our houses were cheaper. Our gas was cheaper. There were no new wars.
That was just a product of Obama's presidency.
So your presidency was a product of Trump's presidency. So. Yeah. And I have a daughter now, so I don't want to actually
excuse me, those are women using women's bathrooms. How dare you misname them?
What's
How
a
dare
woman?
you.
What is a woman?
A woman is someone who identifies with their feminine nature.
So you can't have a masculine nature and identify as a woman?
You can, but
You
that's
just
not
said
what a
it's
woman
some-
is.
Oh, you just said that's what a woman is, though. So no masculine people can be
My
a woman.
brain is so fried. I'm really trying to come up with arguments here, but it's just not working.
You didn't want to use the word woman in your argument. That was good though. You didn't. Matt doesn't believe in any of this. I hope everyone watching.
I'm playing a character.
He's playing.
You haven't gathered that. Savannah.
Can you use your normal voice? You don't have to. You don't have to have a voice like a girl.
I'm really getting into the feminine thing. I used to wear my mom's high heels. I was like a whiff away from being a very different person.
Your mom's watching this live. Did you know that?
It was
Mary?
her heels.
Did you know that, Mary?
I also went into her bedroom and slept on the floor next to her bed till I was like 8.
Mary, when you found out he was wearing your heels, I hope you hit him with them.
All I have to say is if you're not happy with the political and economic state of the United States,
Move to Canada.
In the past 16 years, we've only had 4 years of a Republican president.
You're right.
And that's facts.
I started doing the math in my head, and I was like, "Good night." Bush was that long ago. Yeah, and all those people that said they were going to move to Canada, see what happens. They didn't last time. So if he wins all these, he's winning by a landslide. All the ones that are.
If he wins, so he has to win basically. He's at 230. He has to get 40 votes. If he wins the ones that are leaning in his direction, Wisconsin, Michigan, PA, Georgia.
No,
let's say not PA.
He needs 35, so he needs those 3. Or
he needs 270.
Yeah.
Which is.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm an idiot.
So he needs 40. So if he wins Wisconsin, that's 240. Michigan, that's 255. Georgia is 270 right there. So Wisconsin, Michigan, Georgia, that puts him at. So he's 25.
And then he's also got Arizona and PA.
I don't think we will actually see some results come out. And how many times are recounts going to be asked for?
It depends on how close it is, but it doesn't. If he wins all of those, like if it's by a pretty decent margin, it doesn't matter.
What's Nevada doing? They're just taking a nap over there? They don't have anything from them.
No, we're doing really good. Trust me, it's lively over here.
Oh, everyone's in Vegas. They're all going. They're all just at the strip clubs.
Well, you're pro that. You're pro.
I'm pro women's autonomy to do
abortion
what they
on
want with
demand?
their bodies.
Yeah, go.
You don't get to tell me what I do with my body.
It's not your body.
It's
someone
my
else's
body. We're talking about stripping, not abortion.
Yeah, but it's going to lead to pregnancies, unwanted
I think
pregnancies.
this just became an
abortions.
18+ episode.
All right.
How do women do this all day?
James, let's do another funny video. Give me the mouse.
Corey took my mouse.
These videos sound like Darth Vader, by the way.
Yeah, it's coming out of the speaker.
It's not on our TikTok. It's on the other streaming things. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok right now. And the video is actually just showing on the other 3.
Guys, it looks like Trump's going to win Georgia, Pennsylvania, and possibly
what?
Just those 2.
Yeah, that's a landslide.
Those are 2 huge swing states.
All right, James.
Arizona too.
James got a clip for us.
Did you see the clip of her talking about how dare we wish Merry Christmas to people? No.
Wish each other Merry Christmas? These children are not going to have a Merry Christmas. How dare we speak Merry Christmas? How dare we?
Merry Christmas, everyone.
I mean, if you take that in context, she was probably talking about kids who are like, I like your face, Corey Garner. What do you do? Kids who are having a bad experience or border kids or something, but it's still funny. James, can you find the clip?
But you should still be able to tell those kids Merry
Can
Christmas.
you find the ad where they're like, here's what she did as attorney general, and it's actually the mom who was put in jail and lost her job because she didn't bring her kid to school? It was a Republican ad about Kamala's time as attorney general. It's crazy.
Another big one is all the illegals that have murdered women. I don't remember what that number is, but there was another ad like that she was like, I'm pro protecting women, and then it was like Kamala Harris has let in this many illegals that have murdered this many women. I don't know the numbers. After that, we should check in on
Brandon Garrison said, hey, Corey.
Hey, Brandon.
You
how
can
you doing,
refer
buddy?
to him as President Trump, sir.
Yeah, I'm President Trump tonight, and he's or she. I'm sorry.
And I am Vice President
He's,
Kamala. Come.
Brandon, who'd you vote for, man? You don't have to tell us. You don't have to tell us if you don't want to. We both voted for Trump.
I don't even know how to invite people into the live on Facebook. Are we even just not doing that?
I don't think you can. I don't know.
We're learning this as we go. We're testing out if we want to do lives normally.
Yeah, we do. I like lives.
This is kind of fun. It's fun that all you guys joined in, hanging out with us.
How much
I
longer?
thought it was going to be a
20.
real low.
We got 20 more minutes of this live.
Oh no, we're here till those results are in for those states.
Oh, my freaking.
Yeah, we don't have a limit.
Yeah, that's true. We got a lot more energy. A lot more energy drinks. Everybody's paused.
Everybody's paused. Get paused.
You found that ad?
It's just coming up.
He said, "This is great." Trump 100%. Attaboy, Brandon. Whose costume is better? Your eyebrows don't exist when you wear this wig. Look at that.
Yeah, I would need to dye my eyebrows if I was going to go brown, for sure.
Mary, you never told me if you beat Matt with your high heel when he wore your high heels.
I remember doing it like twice, and then I just stopped. I wasn't obsessed with it. She had these really nice pale rose ones.
I wore my dad's boots.
Yeah, okay. You were a high heel kid too. I could see it in your eyes. Yeah. Brandon, why Trump? 100%. What were the big motivators for you?
I already asked him.
He didn't answer you
No.
because you don't demand attention because you're not beautiful like me.
I'm winning the election. I asked him a different question. I asked whose costume is better. Savannah, whose costume is better?
Well, I'm digging Matthews just because
What are you
he's
doing?
got
He said it sideways.
the feminine wig going on. Is it lipstick? You look like you're wearing lipstick. That's what's making me laugh. a little
Nah,
bit.
girl, that's all natural.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
All right, Corey, who do you like more? It is hot in here.
I know. I'm sweating.
Yeah.
Jamie, help.
No, I gotta go with. I gotta go with you because you got a really good mix going on with your natural JD Vance vibe on the face, and then the Trump outfit over top of it.
Is this my Trump face?
You're the child of Trump and Vance.
Thank you.
I mean,
Did you see the Vance TikTok that he put up where he was like, "This is a 6-pack under Kamala," and he's holding up this like regular 6-pack, and then he's next to a building that looks like a 6-pack because it's like their headquarters of like Budweiser or something, and he turns to it and he's like, "This is a 6-pack under Trump." It's just like 6 beers the size of a building.
I saw the one where he pulled up next to Kamala's plane that just landed. He said, "Yeah, I'm looking at hopefully my new plane," and he went to the reporters and he was like, "I came to answer some questions and y'all won't have any answer for you."
Your mom is the best. She said, "Of course not, Corey. Many little boys wear mom's heels." Did your Mary? Did your other sons wear? Mary has 5 boys. Did your other sons wear your high heels? And if they didn't, I have a good joke. So just please say they didn't.
Right.
Brandon said, "I think, dude, I think this election is more like good versus evil. I'm not political, but after watching, I think a man of faith in God and his son, you got to vote Trump. Like him or not, we need God in this country."
Amen, brother.
Yeah, I like the. I really think there's going to be, if Kamala wins, there's going to be so
Amen,
much.
brother, is Matthew and Kamala. You're at the wrong rally.
Yeah.
I know that really.
She said I can't give that information.
She's not talking about the brothers on the live.
That means they did not wear the heels, which means that's why
They
did. They became
They
Marines.
did.
They went
They
into the
did.
Marines. He went into the Navy.
All right, I got this ad I want to share. James, I'll drop the link to you. Actually, it seems to work a little better.
All right, you guys
Actually, maybe I'll play it through here.
You guys get to vote on this.
find it?
James put a challenge for you. Should Corey sniff smelling salts? I mean Trump.
No, I'm not doing smelling salts. My face already hurts.
Yeah, you're weak, Kamala.
This is just a video for you guys.
Yeah, we do have the smelling salts.
All right, James
Brandon.
has got a reaction one here for us.
You should do the smelling salts and go. We should be Trump from now on with the company. So that I'm Corey.
Just wear these for the next 4 years. Literally forget who we are.
I'm in ministry,
Just
bro.
really get it. All right, James got a clip for us. Is there no audio?
What was this? I saw this.
What is this?
There's no audio.
Your audio's off.
Yeah, I know. There you go.
Have you voted already?
She's saying, "Have you voted already?"
You did. Thank you.
Not on the call. That was the point of it. Was she faked the call?
Thank you so very much. You know, it's so important that everybody
that what it was?
participate. And I thank you because I'm sure you got a lot. Thank you.
Oh, it's on camera mode. It wasn't a phone call.
Yeah, she faked the phone call.
You faker.
All right. Yeah, Brandon, I have the smelling salts. I'll do it.
All right, I got this. I'm gonna share this ad while he gets ready for this smelling salts. Let me share this real quick.
I got it right here.
Oh, you found it? Yeah, that's it. All right. Yeah, watch this ad. This was very powerful.
Smelling salts.
Of kind of her history as Attorney General, which is why a lot of people think she's a sadistic psychopath. Go ahead, James. Does this make me want to grow my hair out?
No. I'm telling you, you'll regret
Dear
it.
Kamala Harris, let's get one thing crystal clear. The vast majority of American men have no issue with electing a female president. Our issue lies solely with you.
In case you want to see this,
you were second in charge
drop it
of
in the
California
comments.
for 13 years.
As California's Attorney General, Harris promoted enforcement of a law that allowed prosecutors to seek jail time for parents of truant kids.
As a prosecutor and law enforcement, I have a huge stick. So I decided I was going to start prosecuting parents.
Can you subtitles? Closed captions so people can, in case you can't hear it.
For truancy.
I thought that was crazy. I was like, how can you lock parents?
Truancy is when like you don't get your kid to
Kamala's
school.
going to put you and me in jail. Yes, we achieved intended effect.
I opened the door and I see at least 7 or 8 cops that wanted to arrest me. As a matter of fact, they did.
And frankly, do you know the prosecutors in my office who volunteered to do this? My homicide prosecutors, my gang prosecutors. And they went over there and I said, when you go over there, look really mean.
She had me arrested and prosecuted because my handicapped daughter was sick in the hospital and had missed some days of school.
I learned that with the swipe of my pen, I could charge someone with the lowest level offense. That person could be arrested. They could lose time from work and their family maybe lose their job. They'd have to clear their own pocket to help hire a lawyer. They lose standing in their
She is saying this
I
right
lost
now.
my job,
In case you
and
missed
couldn't
that.
pay rent,
No, keep going.
and
I'm just
we
yelling
got
things.
evicted.
Weeks later, I could dismiss the charges, but their life would forever be changed.
I became homeless. We had to move into a motel.
All because of the swipe of my pen. I don't agree what Kamala Harris did to my mom, and I don't agree with what she's done to other parents as well.
You were second in charge of the United States for 4 years.
If anything, would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years? There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
Inflation is hitting the highest level in 39 years. A record high number of illegal crossings.
Crime's been surging across the nation.
Huge spikes in homicides. We'd be heading toward World War III. After 17 years of failed leadership, you are now asking us to trust you as first in charge of our country.
I am concerned and focused on big issues. Elementary and middle school truancy is actually a big issue. If we're trying to save the state money,
Because of truancy, California public schools lose $1.4 billion a year in funding.
I want money.
My message to all Americans, do not trust Kamala Harris.
As men and protectors of women and children, you are simply a risk we are not willing to take.
Paid for by Maha Alliance and not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
All right, let's settle this once and for all. Is it Kamala or Kamala?
I want to hear your reaction to the ad while I find this.
To that ad?
Yeah.
It's super sad. That sucked. Poor woman. Kamala or Kamala?
Camel toe.
Dude. Gosh, well. Can't say that, dude. Oh.
Sorry.
Chameleon. All right, I'm gonna sniff the smelling salts.
Did you know that it's actually not Travis and Kelsey? It's actually Travis.
Just so you guys know, we have these stupid smelling salts because we did this for a show, and we had to sniff it a bunch of times. And it's like sticking your face in a urinal with one of those little cakes in it, but that cake is like 100 times more effective. It's literally the same chemical. It's in urinal cakes.
It's like fire.
Or it's one of the same chemicals or something. I don't know. I can't remember. No, it's not. It's not. I'm sorry. I mixed that up with something else. And then it's like it just attacks your face. It's awful. And so I don't do it anymore. Also, I had a deviated septum repair.
Yeah, when you did it,
since then, it got a lot worse.
It didn't even count when you did it. You had a deviated septum.
Those aren't cakes. You should stop eating them.
Yeah, stop eating the cakes. They're urinal. So
don't tell me what I can eat.
He's a man.
There are many ways. If you were asking my grandmother, she'd say Kamala. I usually help people pronounce it by saying, well, just think of a comma and add a la at the end. Kamala.
Let's go back to Daily Wire and get an update.
So I want to share real quick on that ad. So as Christians, we believe, and Corey and I were talking about this yesterday or the day before, in multiple forms of government. So we believe the family is one form. We believe the civil government is another, and the church is one. Is that correct? Am I going that right? When you believe that the family is a form of government, and the Bible gives us clear expectations of how we live out that form of government through headship and submission, which obviously that's an inflammatory statement, but that's biblical, so take it up with God. When you believe in biblical government over your family and then over your nation, over the church, there's certain things that just anger you because you're like, how dare you try and put parents in prison who are caring the best for their kids that they can, who lose their jobs because you do this, because you're losing money for the state because of truancy. It angers you to every fiber of your being because you know as a parent and you know as a person that most parents are trying to do their best and they're just trying to get by, and single parents are going to have an even harder time with truancy issues. So the reason that's so angry, me as someone, I'm not going to put my kids in public school, is that there are people who will wield what is meant to promote justice and the thriving of a nation to do damage to families. And the government should never be wielded against the family. That's where that crux happens. So yeah, that ad, when I saw that, that was like the final nail in the coffin. Because like, this woman's freaking sadistic. And if she'll do that as attorney general, she will do just as bad things as president. All right, where are we at, James?
Check her out.
We've got all the serious videos.
Oh, we wanted to do an update.
Yeah.
Where's my mouse? I lost my mouse. Did it die?
I can't wait to take this wig off.
I'm kind of getting into mine, but it just hurt a little with the brow.
All right, let's do the update.
Did my mouse die? What's happening?
Except for what's going on in Wisconsin. So tell me, Brent, what's going on in Wisconsin?
Well, this is the segue. Kamala Harris is belly flopping.
Oh, like that. Nice. Loving it. A+, grade A, good stuff. Keep going. Tell me more.
All right. So as we look at Wisconsin, one thing you'll note, real red. Let's look at two particular counties that matter to Kamala Harris significantly. And that is Dane, which is Madison, the capital. And when you look at this historical comparison here, just look at the raw vote differences between these. Kamala Harris is 8,000 under her 2020 numbers. Trump is up 2,000 on his 2020 numbers. She really needed to perform here, and she's down 2 points on her margin that she had in 2020. And then we'll go down to Rock County here. This is another one that she really needed to perform well in. What's unique about Rock County is it is, let's flip to this, 10% Hispanic. So this is one of the most diverse counties in one of the whitest states in the entire country. And this was a Biden plus 11 seat, and it is now only Kamala plus 7. So you just take these factors that we've been talking about, which is the counties she needs are only performing at 2020 numbers. And then you add that into the fact that if they're only performing at 2020 numbers, she's not even meeting Biden's margin in these two. And this was one of the closest states in 2020. It was less than 1% that Biden won this state by. So what's really happening, because we're plugging all this data into several of our models, and it's this, is that there's not just this overall white change in the vote. What's really interesting is that if a county is really diverse, the white turnout in that county did not change from 2020. So think of this as like a U. And then if you have super, super white counties where almost nobody but white people live there, they didn't move much from their 2020. It was these counties that were about 75 to 85% white that had the largest shift towards Trump. And if you go back and look historically, they had the largest shifts in 2020 towards Biden. And so it's not this homogenous, all non-whites are moving more towards Trump, all whites are staying where they are. It's this unique patchwork that's occurring in turnout, depending on what type of diversity there is within your county, but it's all benefiting Donald Trump and white, black, brown, everything in between counties right now.
Hi, Savannah.
So,
Thanks for
Brent,
jumping in.
technically, when you read all the data in, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much does Kamala Harris suck as a candidate? And would they have been better off keeping the corpse of Joe Biden in place to actually run? Because the recriminations are going to be so delicious, I will feast off of them for years to come.
Well, I prefer scales that also have negative.
They would not have done better with the corpse of Joe Biden, for one thing. I think it would have been more of a blowout.
No, the polls went like as soon as they changed.
Which
it out.
anytime there's a big momentum shift, I mean, there was a big change that happens, but still they wouldn't have. One thing I heard the Daily Wire talking about today, which I thought was a good point, was that they said, even if, like, think if you have a daughter, I have a daughter, Chuck's not in here anymore. Will, you might one day. Corey's got a daughter. Think about what the radical left, now this isn't everyone on the left, I'm talking about the radical left, what they say when it comes to abortion, is basically like, we're okay with the radical left, the ones who are okay with abortion on demand. So whenever you find yourself in any sticky situation with any baby that you didn't want having an abortion, think of like how what that says you think about your daughter. Like, I'm okay with you sleeping around with a bunch of different people you don't want to have a baby with, and I'm also okay with you killing my grandchild. Like, just, it's that logical. It's that simple. If you think about that as a grandmother, a grandfather, a dad, a mom, isn't that kind of insane that that's the position? Because it's like abortion on demand. It's not like the worst case scenario. It's there are people who brag about having 20.
Most of these states,
not 20,
that are banning abortion, the majority of abortion, they still have medical necessity, rape and incest amendments, clauses, whatever you want to call it, in that legislation. So, and you can still travel to out of state, which they say adds undue necessity. If you're thinking about taking a human life, there should be some necessity, some hardship added to that. I've invited Julia a few times. I don't think she's trying to jump in. So we're gonna do a quick recap here on where we're at. Also, I was just looking at Nevada, why it's not reporting, and basically it took 4 days for them to call it for Biden last time, and is it possible I have to wait that long again? That's what this article is saying. I'll jump more into that, and we got 2 minutes till the next polls turn in. Short answer is yes. Nevada law allows all mail ballots postmarked by election day to be counted until 5 p.m. on Saturday. Mail ballots with an unclear or no postmark must be counted by Friday at 5 p.m. The statutes were upheld this year despite multiple lawsuits from state and national Republicans. As a result, in the event of a razor-thin margin like in 2020, Biden won by about 33,000 votes out of 1.4 million ballots cast. Election forecasters may not be comfortable calling the race until days after Election Day because of the possibility of outstanding mail ballots. In 2022 midterms, about 6% of Clark County votes and 3% of Washoe County votes were received after Election Day. The highest number of mail votes were received the day after Election Day, but there's a steep drop-off the next day. Additionally, Nevadans who have to cure the signatures on the mail ballots will have until November 12th to do so. So, yeah, so Nevada's not a huge element here. So
look at CNN's map. It's like blank. They're like, we're not admitting it.
CNN won't admit anything. So what we're seeing right now with AP is pretty significant, I think. So we're at 75% reporting for Wisconsin, and Donald Trump is up about 100,000 votes, right around there, or 3%. Michigan, they're at 44% reporting. Trump is up 4 or 5%. He's up about 140,000. Oh, we just got more in. All right, hold on. Update here. It just had a big jump. Actually, let's restart here. Wisconsin, Trump's up about 100,000. Michigan, we just got a big jump. Trump went from 51 to Kamala's 46. He is still 125,000 votes ahead in Michigan. PA, Trump is ahead by about 220,000.
That's 83% reporting too.
And 83% reporting. So Kamala's got several 100,000 vote to overcome. Georgia, Trump is ahead by about 115,000, 117,000 with 93% reporting. So Arizona, okay, we're starting to actually get something from Arizona. First time. No, I'm sorry. We've had Arizona. It was Nevada we were waiting on. Arizona, we've got about 7,000 lead for Donald Trump at 50% reporting. So that one could still go either way, it looks like. Nevada, apparently, they could just take 4 days, which is hilarious. It's like, nah, things move slow over here in Vegas.
What's Maine looking like?
We got hangovers we got drinking at 9, hangover in the morning.
Go up to Maine, see what Maine's looking like.
Maine. Oh yeah, Maine 51-46. Kamala in the lead there. Only 13,000 votes, 32% reporting. 13,000 vote difference between Kamala and Trump in Maine. 32% reporting. New Hampshire, 76%. Kamala's up 4%, and about. I mean, Kamala, the only states where she has leads in here that haven't been called yet, she's got maybe 20,000, 40,000 votes ahead, and Trump is 100, 200,000 ahead in multiple states. Minnesota, she's up 5, 6 to 7%.
She's gonna win there.
There you go. Yeah, that one she's about 120,000 votes over. So she's probably going to take Minnesota. So what if we just took basic outcomes here? She's got Minnesota bringing her up to 219. She's got Maine bringing her up 4 more to 223. And she's got New Hampshire bringing her up to 227. All the rest of the states are leaning heavy for Trump.
Is any state at 100% yet? Virginia is one of the first ones to call.
84, 86, 92, 94, 99. Oklahoma, good on you. 99% reporting.
I think I should get to punch you for that.
Oklahoma. I have to pee. So you can't punch me.
You're going to pee if I punch you?
No, it's all that Red Bull. North Dakota's at 96. Montana's at 14%, but 63-33, so they already called it.
Damn.
Idaho 37, Washington 59, Oregon 60, California 43.
Are you guys, if you want to join the chat, the TikTok chat, you can't join the other ones, but if you want to join the TikTok chat and tell us why you voted.
You sound tired. Drink.
I've been drinking. I'm on the second. It's almost gone.
I'm on number 3.
And tell us why you voted for Trump or why you voted for Kamala. We'll have some friendly disagreements that will be fun.
All right, I've got to go to the little ladies.
All right, while he's in the bathroom, you want to play one of the live streams,
yeah.
James?
6-year-old.
Give our viewers something to watch. You cut the volume on, James. The volume to the. Actually, let's go to Daily Wire. I think Daily Wire is the most entertaining one. It's just me. Hey guys. What did you say this county is going red, boys and girls? Oh, country. I don't have my glasses on because it didn't work with the wig. I can't read half of this stuff.
Yeah, after what I was just seeing, it's looking real. It's very thin. It's very thin for a way for Kamala to win at this point.
Yeah, I don't think she can. Yeah, go ahead.
Clarence Thomas will end up retiring from the bench, President Trump in this next term, and that is because he's 76 years old. There's a good shot that Samuel Alito, who is 74, will also end up retiring from the bench, and new justices will be appointed in their place, which will enshrine, in fact, a conservative majority on the court for years to come. Wow. Because that was a scary thing. I mean, Clarence Thomas is the best justice on the Supreme Court. He's still obviously very much with it in mind. He's also 76 years old, and he's not going to play the Ruth Bader Ginsburg game, where you end up God forbid, going under a Democrat. And then
Let's not
suddenly
knock
the
Sam
entire-
Alito, though. I mean, I'm kind of actually partial to
Sam's
Sam
great.
Alito. Both, like,
Justice Alito's fantastic. I mean, again.
so
but
both those guys, though, are a little bit
long in the
of a
tooth. Long in the
certain
tooth.
age,
Yeah.
long in the
By
tooth.
the time that Donald Trump leaves office in this next term, Samuel Alito will be 78 years old.
Yeah.
Right. That you're starting to get into the territory where you really want to think at 77 about whether you want to be the person who ends up, moving into a Democratic administration. I think one of the things that's worth noting here is that, we can be the number one thing that Donald Trump is going to do is be not Kamala Harris, right? He is going to stop dead that agenda from moving forward, and not doing the thing is like 80% of what he needs to do.
West
It's very hard to think of, massive, like the things I would want to do, right? Like restructuring the federal entitlement programs that are clearly going to bankrupt the country. It ain't going nowhere, and it's not going to happen. Right? Like we're just gonna fly right off that cliff.
It's
at
going
100 miles
to
an hour.
happen, as you say, it's going to happen because it has to happen.
Right, exactly. I mean, reality will hit and we'll fall off the cliff, and then austerity measures or inflation or high taxation will happen. I mean, all those things will happen. But the one thing that Trump really can do, the biggest thing he can do, is radical deregulation. The radical deregulation will happen.
Which he started to do already.
Right now he's going to go to. He had a ratio of 2 to 1. Right, for every new regulation passed, you repeal 2. Now he says it's going to go 4 to 1. Right, for every regulation that is created, 4 will be repealed. Right? All of these are really good and really important things. As far as what happens in Congress, the answer is that, the government is a giant tractor and it just keeps on moving forward almost no matter what. So if you're hoping for Donald Trump to come in and lower the federal debt by leaps and bounds, that's really not.
No, he's never said he's going to do that.
Correct. That's not the thing you should hope for. What the real theory of Donald Trump, and this is where he actually is, like W, unfortunately, actually is this area, is that he believes you can outgrow the debt, right? That if you have enough economic dynamism, eventually you'll generate enough revenue that you can pay off all of that sort of stuff. So again, that's the stuff that's sort of on the table. Again,
If you can find the clip.
Viewers, tell us who you voted for.
You can find the one.
Tell us why, and
Yeah, like him versus Hillary Clinton.
what you're most excited about in life.
We're gonna watch some Trump's funniest moments clips here while we look at some teeth. Hello, teeth.
You need you some teeth.
Ladies, I need some tips on how to control this mess.
Apparently, people who watch the election past 12 o'clock are old because we're seeing dental commercials. Oh my gosh.
We have some of the dumbest leaders in the world. We have losers. We have losers. They're losers. They're just losers. We have very stupid people. We have stupid leadership. How stupid are our leaders? How stupid are these politicians to allow this to happen? How stupid are they?
How stupid are our leaders?
Hillary Clinton was the single worst Secretary of State in the history of this country. The world collapsed around us while she was Secretary of State.
I have just one word for Mr. Trump. Basta. Enough.
I think Jeb is a nice person. He's very low energy. I'm not used to that kind of a person.
So he's doing this to inflame and to incite and to draw attention, which seems to be his organizing principle of his campaign.
And then I see Rick Perry the other day, and he's so, he's doing very poorly in the polls. He put glasses on so people will think he's smart. And it just doesn't work.
Yeah, he's a king of the insults. And do you hear how much Jeb Bush was a lot more articulate than Trump is in his speech, but Trump's just so good at insulting people that nobody wants to go up against him. He's like that guy in school. So they're showing, what do you got here? He's like that. Well, if you guys are on TikTok and you see like that blonde haired kid, I don't know his name, but he always debates and he's liberal. And then there's also, what is his name? That's going to bug me. Y'all might know. If you know his name, put it in the chat. But like he's trying to fight a professional fighter right now because they disagree politically, so they can debate. But anyways, that's who Trump kind of, he's like the conservative version of that. He just throws out these insults that you're like, and he talks over you, so you don't know what to say back to him, which that's It's difficult.
Man, this almost looks like Trump could win Maine.
Yeah, Trump could. I mean,
They're
they've
35%, and he's got 46. He's only down 13,000 votes.
they've been red before.
Wasn't the entire election decided over less than 20,000 votes in the
I don't
last
know.
one?
I
I
don't
think
know
that
the
was
numbers.
part of the whole craze of it, was because like that's why they were so concerned about fraud, because it was such a small difference.
I think Maine was red in 2016, but Maine just now they did a poll. We have some family in Maine.
They went red.
And
in the
I think
last
in
couple
2016.
elections? That's wild.
Not 2020, but I think 2016. But they did. Let us know in the comments if y'all know if Maine was red in 2016. But they did a poll. They did like a mock vote, like if you ever did those in high school, where you'd go to school and they'd teach you how to vote. And so they would collect all those votes and see who won.
Join us, Will.
Will's joining us. But they did that in Maine across like 140 schools, and Trump overwhelmingly won in Maine, which speaks volumes of what the next generation has going through their head. What are you looking up?
Who's in the background?
Dude, you better not show your face.
Don't show
Jamie.
your face, Jamie. You're our Easter egg.
That's our rule. Our camera guy can't
You're
show
our
his
golden
face.
goose, our black swan. I should write a poem.
His name actually is James too, which is awesome because on the Joe Rogan show, I've never seen an episode of that, but I've seen shorts. They call the camera guy Jamie. What's up, Will?
We have 51 seats in the Senate. That's amazing. That means if Trump gets elected, he'll be able to do basically whatever he wants.
I thought you were liberal. You told us you voted for Kamala.
I'm not.
Who's we?
Listen, I'm a bandwagon.
Is that Senate and Congress? I always forget what the right words are for this.
Government.
Okay, so in 2020, Biden won 81. I was looking at what the win-loss percentage margin was in 2020. Biden won
but electoral
81,284,000 votes nationwide compared to Trump's 74,224,000. But the president is won by the Electoral College. Biden busted Trump, winning 306 electoral votes to 232. Wow, he got stomped.
Well, that's because of how many people are. Well, that's not the only reason, but there are a ton of people in liberal areas. It's all big cities.
Yeah,
So-
for some reason I thought Trump had more. He said something about he won the popular vote.
Oh
in
no,
2020.
Republicans never win the popular vote just because of the number of people in the cities. That's why the Electoral College exists, because you don't want this. You don't want all the people here to decide everything for the whole country, because there's more people there than anywhere else.
Yeah, so Trump lost
Thanks for the
Virginia.
like.
He lost Georgia, just electoral, in terms of electoral.
Why do you think
Last year Biden won Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan? So those three states across the top that are still undecided. Biden won all three of those last year.
Why do you think Glenn Youngkin won as governor in Virginia, but we never elect a Republican president in Virginia? What's so different?
I don't know
about
what's
Glenn?
different about those elections. I'm sure
Or
there's
different
something different.
about the election. Yeah, I wonder because is there? I don't know. I don't want to sound like an idiot.
I don't know enough about state elections.
But Youngkin's going to run for president one day. He's making that pretty clear. What if it was Youngkin and JD Vance? That'd be sweet. If JD Vance was the president and Youngkin was his vice president, and then Youngkin becomes the next president. They were
I don't
thinking
know a ton about JD Vance.
He's pretty
I watched the whole Joe Rogan with Trump, but I didn't get to watch the whole thing.
Let us know what you think about Vance in the comments.
Yeah, let us know. I know that he's like a family guy. I know that he's stated to be like kind of raised in blue collar world. Or
He wrote Hillbillyology, which was like his book that went real big.
I know he was a never Trumper at one point, according to what I heard on the Joe Rogan show. He's up until like 2016, and then COVID he woke up to a lot of the crap that happened.
He's
during
young.
COVID.
Look up how old he is. I think he's in his 30s.
Well, I just want to compare these maps real quick. So this is kind of interesting. I'm actually going to share this.
If you know how old he is, put it in the comments.
So here's
40.
Here's a comparison of what happened in 2020 versus where we're at now. So you can see 2020 is over here on the right. It's much bigger. Let me actually enlarge this a little bit here. So in 2020, this is the top. Yeah, so in 2020,
Holly said she's guessing 35. He's 40, Holly.
These three
I thought he was
states,
35 too, but
we
Jim
had
just Googled it.
Minnesota in 2020 went blue, which looks like it's going to go again. But Wisconsin, Michigan, and Wisconsin and Michigan. These two right here are significant because they went to Biden, and that gave him 26 electoral votes. And he won Pennsylvania, and those three are
Georgia.
Trump is leading with 100,000. He's leading with 150 or so, and then another 100,000. So he is between these three states. He's 350,000 votes ahead.
Apologia Church and End Abortion Now has been putting in some work. How many electoral college votes does?
Also, Biden won Georgia, and right now Trump is ahead. 120,000, 118,000 votes.
How many does Alaska get? Look at how many Alaska gets.
And
it's
Biden
probably barely
won
any.
Arizona, Alaska.
Go down. Down.
And he's only had 10,000 in Arizona right now.
Right there.
That's good. It doesn't even say.
It doesn't even tell us how many Alaska gets.
3
Alaska
electoral votes. 3. They had 3 in 2020. I guess it can change based on population.
It changes. They do it. They did a census when he was president, but it doesn't. That doesn't matter.
Yeah. So basically, the swing states in 2020 go into Biden were Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Arizona. All of those went to Biden last time, and Trump across those is 400, 500,000 votes ahead. Now, votes can dump in, they're updating polls. So as we've watched this, we've seen them jump by 100,000 regularly. And I know that was a big point of contention, is like, why did all these votes just show up at one time? Apparently they batch and submit them. I don't know about voter fraud and all that stuff. I think that there's so many claims on both sides out there that I just never came to a conclusion on that.
I don't think there's like mass voter fraud. I don't think it's going to change the election.
Yeah, I guess I just believe all things are probably possible, and so I believe there's probably voter fraud on both sides, but I don't think necessarily that flipped the election, just because looking at this, I mean, Biden won by so much. It would have had to have been a massive thing, but not say that couldn't happen, not say it didn't happen, not say it did.
What good does it do if you live just believing that it's always fraud? Like, why should you take any action ever? Why should you vote? Like,
and I don't think most conservatives actually really truly believe it definitely was. I think they believe there's a possibility, or they wouldn't be going out to vote this year.
Live believing your vote counts. Don't live believing the opposite. All right, let's go and get an update from one of these sources. Jamie, you pick.
So just again, if you're looking at this screen, we got 2020 on the right and 2024 on the left. I'll go ahead and stop sharing.
My wig's like shifted. You see more of my brown hair now.
One thing, we have nothing in common. This I don't understand that mentality. It is, as it's been a motto of my radio show for 40 years. The only candidate you will ever agree with entirely is you if you run. There is no one else. And yet people say, oh, he said that.
Yeah.
He's out of my life.
Forever he's dead. Yeah.
Right. By the way, you might not even agree with yourself all the time.
Yeah.
People's views change.
Yeah, that's right.
Even with President Trump, he has become more fluent in speaking as a conservative since he ran in 2015. And, it shows on the trail.
So what does the pro-life movement do next then, as they're looking at this Trump administration that managed what we think will be the Trump administration that managed to win while tacking to the center on that issue, changing the language of the GOP platform? How do they now navigate a world in which the GOP doesn't necessarily entirely back their policies, and yet they also have Dobbs?
I think that's overstated. I think, Jeremy, you made this point very well earlier in the show. Trump got a lot of flack for taking the abortion ban out of the GOP platform. I think the reason he got flack for that is because people refused to acknowledge that the Dobbs decision didn't just move the ball down the field for us. It did do that. It fundamentally changed the field. It reset the field. Previously, before Dobbs, calling for a national abortion ban was not only a just thing to do, it was politically advantageous to Republicans. it ceased to be politically advantageous after we had lost every ballot referendum that we had put up for pro-life. So, I don't want to just flack for Trump here and say that I would have said exactly the same things he did or whatever. He initially said he would oppose or support the pro-abortion amendment in Florida. Then he came around, he said, no, I'm not going to support it. He's changed his language a little over time, but we are in a completely new ballgame here. And so the goal is to protect innocent life. That's the goal. We're gonna have to change our strategy up a little.
I think what it means is obviously the fight is state to state now. And it's an incremental fight. And that's something that pro-lifers and conservatives just have to, there's always this argument, especially among Christians, about, well, incrementalism, is that really the way to? Of course, that's the way to go. That's incrementalism. Just means that
the only way to move.
Right. So you're going to take the best possible thing you can have now is what you're going to take.
Right.
That's just life. That's every day, every moment of life. You choose the best possible thing you can have, and that's going to be the fight going forward.
That's of course right. The problem with Roe v. Wade is that it allowed Republican politicians to lie to pro-life voters for 50 plus years and say that they were abortion absolutists when the vast majority of them weren't, but they could never be called on it because Roe was never going to be overturned. Yeah. And then the unimaginable happened and Roe was overturned. And suddenly you're realizing that these politicians were always just being politicians. Life was an easy layup win, that they were never going to be responsible for advancing in any way. And what I truly believe is that the fight for overturning Roe was a long shot fight that took a generation and a half to win. And the fight for now, the actual fight against abortion was not the fight against Roe v. Wade. That was the fight against Roe v. Wade. The actual fight against abortion is going to be a generation and a half of fighting in the culture, which we have not done at this level before, of technological advances, which some Christians will find distasteful, but will actually help over time reduce abortion, of national revival, which will be an incredibly difficult thing to accomplish, but has been going on since the beginning of time. There's always been a cycle of falling away from God and drawing nearer to God. Like that is just part of the human civilizational experience. I actually think that all the trend lines actually work in our favor over time to do away with this complete horror called abortion. Again, no one is more pro-life than me. There are things that I believe about abortion that I cannot say on the air because we would be deplatformed. I'm a complete and total abolitionist radical. And
they have 2.6 million for Trump, 2.48 million for Kamala. So we're at a total of about basically 5.
Good night, Will.
Night, man. About 5,083,000. I always forgot to say these names. 919. And if you multiply that by 7%, so they're at 93% reporting, that's only 408,000 votes. So you could see why they haven't called it yet, because it's only separated by 120,000 votes. And with 7% left, there could still be basically between 400,000 and 500,000 votes left to count. So it could still swing either way. That's why they're not calling some of these, because when you take 7% of even the total votes currently, it's going to be slightly larger than that. Take 7% of that, it's still 400,000 votes that need to be turned in. So that just goes to show you why they might not be calling some of these yet. The remaining vote counts, like in Pennsylvania, they have 3,094,000, 2 million. They basically got right around 6 million, and Trump is leading by about 150,000. But if you take 6 million, and they're at 14% remaining, so if you take 6 million times 0.4, that one still has 840,000 votes that need to come in.
Are you saying people?
Vote count.
Oh, no, what are you doing the math by? You looked at how many eligible voters are in the...
No, I'm taking total vote count as it is now. So how many people have voted and their percentage reporting. So if it's saying there's 6 million people who have voted,
Okay.
And there's 14% remaining. It's actually slightly larger than that because you're not taking the total with the rest of it. But there's still 840. So there's between 800,000 and 1 million votes left to be cast in
I
Pennsylvania.
wonder if that percentage, though, is the percentage of counties or percentage of people.
Yeah, I'm just using the vote count. I'm not using that percentage here. Oh, you mean that reporting percentage?
Mhm.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, I don't know.
Either way,
I don't know.
If it's vote count, there's still hundreds of thousands of votes in most of these states that need to come in. All right, actually just got an updated Pennsylvania vote count. Trump just moved up. It went from 2,942,000. So we're at
Jacob Fry, if you're still watching this and you invited me to a New York Giants fan page, I'm a Commanders fan. Don't do that. I don't know if he's picking on me or not. He can't be. We're a lot better than them.
Let's go over to Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, let's check out Charlie Kirk. I'm going to whisper something while we're in that one that they can't hear.
Trump's got about 171,000 lead in Pennsylvania right now.
Pennsylvania's got a lot of people.
Let's see what old Charlie's saying.
But at the same time, there's still votes left in Waukesha for us. There's still votes left in Dodge for us, right? There's still votes left in Washington.
Waukesha's done. Waukesha's.
It says 92% on the New York Times. So, okay. I'll take your word for it. How about Washington still has 30% of its votes left, right?
Yep.
That's a great county for us. Fond du Lac still has some votes left. Sheboygan still has some votes left. What I'm getting at is, 5,000 here, 4,000, right? I mean, we still have probably 50,000 net votes across the state.
Hey,
am I right?
Brett, we need to look into, can we ask the question from our data guys too on the Yokava votes there for Wisconsin?
I don't think it's going to be nearly enough.
We need to get that number. They have the data for the number. So let's pull that. Let's ask them about that. We're close enough where this is,
yet, but
no, we're close enough though, where this could think this, I mean, this is the piecemeal thing that they do.
I know, I understand.
So
but
we need to get that number for Wisconsin, and I know they were
Grant County has votes left, by the way. Grant County, like a lot of our counties, Brett.
Juneau is only 66%,
and Dane is done. Like their strong county is done.
Yeah. I mean, she lost 7% at UW-Madison. I mean, that'll end up being the fatal flaw there. That she didn't prioritize UW-Madison. You seem to get a feeling that we were gaining some rare Republican momentum there. President Trump was in Dane County about a month ago. That was the first time that a Republican presidential candidate stepped foot in Dane County on the campaign trail since Bob Dole in '96. So, I mean, they saw a path through Dane County.
I have to just run this until they call it.
Yeah, so just going doing math at home. Even if Pennsylvania goes Pennsylvania, which Cliff's not going to let happen, right, Cliff? We're not going to let that happen, okay? But even if Pennsylvania,
that is true. That is true.
But because Wisconsin is a much straighter arrow, it's just a much straighter edge. It's just a different way of doing things. Okay, it's just a different, honestly, worldview and morality. No offense to Cliff and Jack, it's just a straighter edge. Okay, and by the way, we've cleaned up a lot of the 2020 stuff. That's all I'm going to say, right, Brett? We've cleaned up a lot of it. It's a lot straighter edge. We're going to talk in code here. But with Donald Trump with a 105,000 vote advantage in Wisconsin right now, with tons of our counties remaining. And okay, you said Racine, she'll close the gap. Any other places where she can catch up with late arriving mail?
There's a couple that I'm just noticing here too. So you've got
Eau Claire's done.
That you've got
done. Yep.
You've got some potential grab in St. Croix for her. I'm just looking at the numbers from 2020 in Polk County. We might be tapped out of Republican votes there. We're doing really well. So what concerns me in Polk County is 2020 we won 16,000 votes to 9,000 votes. Right now we're winning 14,000 votes to 7,000 votes. So it looks like it's going to split pretty good there, but there could be some there. We have Douglas County hasn't reported yet. It's not a ton of votes, but it's 25,000 votes there.
Pennsylvania's up at 0.5%.
Somewhere in that ballpark, right, Brett?
Significantly more than that.
And then so you start patching this thing together. So that hasn't reported yet. Ashland hasn't completely reported yet. And you said Dora County's done, right?
To be called.
Yeah, Dora's done. Want to point out, you mentioned Polk County. You saw a massive turnout because Wisconsin has same-day voter registration. It's more than possible. Yeah, we use it to our advantage. A county like Polk County, you saw tons of wards exceed 100%. Turtle Lake, a heavy Republican municipality in Polk County, 126% turnout, heavy Republican.
Wow.
We just flipped Erie County. Let me get Cliff back in. By the way, guys, can we get ready to take Trump when he speaks? Trump will probably declare victory tonight, and that's not preemptive.
Trump is on his way.
If you're at 90% at New York Times at 12:30,
I think that's all.
So we'd like to see, baby.
Yeah. Again, it's okay. So let me just say one thing. What was that? Okay, let's make sure we can pull Trump away. We just flipped Erie County. What did I tell you, Cliff? I told you, Cliff. Don't sleep on my Erie people.
Listen, Erie has been a top target. You were right, Charlie. You were right. Right now, Donald Trump, 67,000. Kamala Harris, 65,000, 50-48. I mean, I don't think it goes in the other direction whatsoever. We're looking at the numbers. There's a key state Senate race there, 2 state House races we have to flip to take back the state House. A bellwether county. Donald Trump is now leading in Erie.
Hey, this is the moment. Why do we think this is the moment? And you turned it off. Huge moment. This is the moment. You turned it off.
I'm so tired. Those guys have more energy than us.
I feel cool, man.
Mary said, I wonder how many illegal immigrants have voted.
I don't know. I'm curious about that because like I know that they force you to show ID. Like I had to show my ID. I've read about a lot of people have to show like their driver's license when they go. Pretty much everyone I know had to. So I don't know how illegal immigrants do it. Would that happen through mail-in? Is that the idea with that, Mary?
I don't know. The issue with that isn't so. I don't think it's so much how many voted in this election. I think it's if one candidate's just going to let them pour in and then give them citizenship, they're going to vote legally. And the next
Cory Garner's
election,
back.
Corey G, where'd you go?
I don't know. I went and rant on an abortion.
He got bored with us.
Corey's in Las Vegas, and he told us, I don't know where I went when I left. That's not good.
We're talking about how illegal immigrants could vote, Cory Garner. You ever heard anything about that?
You're paused. When you leave, it pauses you.
Yeah. Sorry, I was ranting about a woman trying to preach my body, my choice thing. Anyway, and targeting my daughters on it. So
on what?
Yeah, back to the immigration thing. So with the immigration thing and people, what's wild to me is that any U.S. citizen thinks it's okay for somebody that's not a U.S. citizen to vote. Like, what are we doing? For one, that's just absolutely.
How does that work though? Like, I don't know. How would an illegal immigrant actually vote? Mail in or something? Because like, I had to show my ID when I went to vote.
Do they actually vote, or does somebody vote for them and just put their name on it?
That's what I mean. I have no idea. Like, I don't understand how illegal voting would work.
Either way, they'd be. Doesn't make sense.
I understand why we have to try to pass laws to emergency laws to stop these people from voting. Like, it's wild to me.
Come a chameleon. Come and go.
Oh, interesting. So every state is required to use a common registration form, which requires people. So the punishment includes a year in prison, a fine, and possibly deportation based on the Illegal Immigration Reform and Immigrant Responsibility Act of 96.
Possibly deportation if you illegally voted in the country.
Every state has to use a common registration form, which requires people to confirm that they're are U.S. citizens under penalty of perjury for false claims, but does not require documentary proof. Quote, the first step of having to tick a box saying you're a citizen to register to vote is a huge deterrent for illegal immigrants, and it's a huge risk to lie. Voting expert, the liberal policy think tank.
Honestly, we're probably, it doesn't matter because it's not enough to switch it.
In many states, voter rolls are cross-referenced with citizenship and immigration services, death certificates, and postal records to make sure that people who are non-citizens, dead or alive, outside are not registered to vote. At the polls, there's a list of eligible voters, and if a non-citizen turns up, they'll be turned away or told to cast a provisional ballot, which will only be accepted if they can provide proof of citizenship. Non-citizens are not allowed to vote in the statewide elections either. However, some municipalities, California, Maryland, Vermont, Washington, D.C., do allow them to vote in certain local elections, such as for school boards. What evidence is there that illegal immigrants vote? A number of studies, both from conservative and left-leaning organizations, suggest instances of illegal immigrants voting in U.S. federal elections are very rare. One by the Brennan Center interviewed 44 election officials who worked across 12 states during the 2016 election and found that 23.5 million votes counted in these states. An estimated 30 suspected incidents of non-citizens voting were referred for further investigation. Analysis of database which collected election fraud cases between 1999 and 2023 by the Heritage Foundation found 77 instances of non-citizens voting. The Cato Institute is a conservative think tank, found in an article entitled "Non-Citizens Don't Illegally Vote in Detectable Numbers," came to similar conclusions. So multiple conservative think tanks have not found evidence of massive voter fraud. What evidence do Republicans cite? The Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act, a Republican proposal which required people to prove their citizenship when registering to vote, has been rejected in the House of Representatives. Republican lawmakers continually push for more citizenship requirements. We have a number of states who have done audits of their voter rolls and found thousands of non-citizens. The lead Republican in the House, Mike Johnson, told CNN. He highlighted Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Georgia, 3 states where polls show a tight race between Trump and Kamala Harris. In Ohio, a review called for by Republican officials in the state found that out of about 8 million registered voters, there were 597 cases which have been referred for further review and potential prosecution. In Pennsylvania, a glitch with electronic touchscreens and state driver's license centers wrongly showed non-citizens the option to register to vote while getting new or updated licenses. Glitches in the system between 2006 and 2017 has been resolved. In 2017, Pennsylvania state election officials said non-citizen immigrants might have cast 544 ballots out of the more than 93 million. In Georgia, reviewed voter rolls in 2022 found 1,634 had attempted to register to vote but were not able to be verified at about 7 million registered.
As much as I love hearing you read.
Oh, yeah. So I just kept going. Yeah, so it looks like conservative and liberal think tanks have dug into it, and they're not finding evidence of more than like 1,000 attempts, even out through the last 20 years in that article.
It's not going to change anything.
Mary R. Wonder how many illegal. Newsom in California signed a law that bars local governments from asking for ID. California has more than 1.8 undocumented or illegal immigrants, according to Google AI.
What was it that Youngkin did? Youngkin did something in Virginia. Oh, what was it? And then he got sued. Oh, he made it. It had something to do with registered voters and illegal immigrants. And you're supposed to do it within a certain time frame of the election. He did it too close to it, so they tried to sue him. I'm too tired to remember any of that, though.
Wake up! You've got another monster to drink.
I'm not dying tonight.
All right, Wisconsin. Let's see where we're at. Wisconsin, Trump is still ahead 100,000. Michigan, Trump is ahead 200,000. It looks like he's pulling ahead in Michigan. He was only up 150 for the last hour or so. He's up 200,000 now, and his percentage has increased. They're at 55% reporting still.
Here's Matt's credit card information.
Pennsylvania. My identity's been stolen once. No, thank you.
That's why I did that.
Pennsylvania is still really close. Only Trump's ahead by 175,000. So still really. You get so bowl in a china shop when you're tired.
I do that when I'm not
175,000. Pennsylvania is still real close. They're 86% reporting. So again, they could still have between 800,000 and 1 million votes left to register. So. That could go either way for sure. Georgia's at 93% and Trump's up 125. That hasn't changed much. And that one could still have 400 to 500,000 votes left. Arizona, Trump is only up 13,000. That's crazy tight. And for theirs, I mean, they're at 1.8 and 51%. So they still have
51%.
2 million votes that need to register.
They are in the 3
Trump
hours.
is definitely leading by several 100,000 votes in almost all these swing states. But there is enough votes left that if for some reason these mail-in ballots were predominantly Democrat votes, that it could still swing.
I don't know why everyone doesn't just do what Florida did. And dude, I flicked this thing and it went into your hair. Boom. I don't know why everyone doesn't just do what DeSantis did, and they counted all of their mail-in ballots. They had to be counted before the election, and they were always going to be one of the first ones as the result, because they do that, and then as soon as the electronic votes are in, boom, it's done. These other ones that are going to be counting for 3 days after, potentially, I don't know, why are you doing it that way? You don't have to do it that way.
What does Kamala actually have to win at this point? So she's going to win Wisconsin. So let's say she's at 220. Maine is still up in the air, but let's say she wins Maine. That'll put her at 224, New Hampshire 228. So all the states were leaning towards her will only put her at 228, which means she would have to go from 228 to 270. Well, last year Nevada went blue. So if she's at 228 and 2, she would be at 234 if she won all the states leaning towards that way right now. So she would be at 234. Trump's at 230 before counting the ones leaning towards him. So Kamala would basically the vote would have to swing in her direction by 234 to 270. So we're looking at 35 votes. So she would have to swing Wisconsin and Michigan and she would have to swing like Pennsylvania and Michigan, or Georgia, Wisconsin, Michigan. So she has to win Pennsylvania and one of the other 15 votes, or she has to win all 3 of the others.
Pennsylvania is gonna.
Probability that you see of this happening.
I don't know. I have heard that mail-in ballots tend to be more Democratic voters.
I don't think Pennsylvania is gonna. Well, it's not all mail-in. Some of them are just.
Yeah, I know they're going to finish counting tonight, but I'm kind of looking to see like what is mail-in typically, because I think those are the ones that they end up counting later.
Pennsylvania, I think, is going to be the deciding factor, and I think that she's going to lose it because she did not pick Shapiro as her vice president, and that's going to be super ironic. But if she did pick Shapiro, to be fair, she may have lost in other states.
So 58% of Democrats voted by mail compared to 29% of Republicans in 2020.
Yeah, that number changed a lot this year.
In previous years, there was little to no partisan difference in voting by mail. So that's really interesting. So if we said that 58% of these remaining, even 50% of the remaining votes that need to be cast, which is, I think it's right around 2 million. So it's, I don't know exactly.
Mail-in voting wasn't widely accessible until COVID, though. We have a comment. Oh, no, we waved at somebody. Never mind.
I waved at Tom Mott. Hi, Tom.
Hey, Tom.
Thanks for joining.
But yeah, it wasn't, mail-in voting wasn't very accessible. I think it was only extreme cases until COVID. And then COVID, it got popular, and Trump told everybody not to do it, which killed him, because he was like, this is like a liberal attempt for them to steal the election. And then all of them did it. And then what happens when you're sick on election day or some big serious thing happens? You got to work all day. You're not able to make it to the polls. So he encouraged it this time. And there's supposed to be a lot more mail-in voting from the right this time.
I'm done with the wig, people.
What'd your mom say?
We already answered that one.
California has more than 1.8 undocumented or a million.
Yeah, I think California is always going to go to Trump. So like,
no. What? Not to Trump.
Yeah, I'm sorry, to Kamala. So mail-in fraud or not, like I don't think it makes a huge difference there. I think it was going to go to.
Here, we're going to do an update, and then I got something for you.
Okay, James got an update for us. I'm gonna run to the restroom.
Don't run.
I broke the seal.
Sorry, my
got this fancy light.
You never heard that before?
Tang Williams.
Detroit has a lot.
Tang Williams, who has been a candidate a few times here. Lily Tang Williams is only behind 2.5 points, almost 3 points in New Hampshire in House District 2. Pennsylvania, we have McKinsey up on Wild in House District 7. That's a big deal. Pennsylvania, they just announced this. District 8, this was a race to watch. This was on our list. This is I believe it's a hold, Brezhnev.
That's a new guy. That's a Rob
flip.
That's a flip.
We have 2 flips pending in Pennsylvania. We have McKenzie beating Wild.
I think we're going to keep the House.
95%.
The president would be Cartwright. That's your northeastern tier.
Real quick, Cliff. What's your read on the Perry race? 77% in. Where are we going to be at? I know you were just with them.
Yeah, so we have 3 targets in PA. You just mentioned them: District 7, District 8, and District 10. Those were the 3 congressionals. Scott, we got to see where the numbers fall. We're expecting the rest of these to be good, but we got to see if he can get across the finish line. 7 and 8, we were told they were not winnable, but we're going to try to make them competitive. So we're excited about those. But Scott Perry is a must-win. So we're analyzing that minute by minute and trying to see where it lands. But honestly, 7 and 8, one of the reasons we had success was the Democrats didn't target it as heavily for mail-in voting. So we'll continue to track those.
Cliff, are you tracking the row offices? Because the Democrats are way down in these row offices.
Pennsylvania, 81% chance for Trump, New York Times.
Dude, and
Attorney General, Auditor, and Treasurer in Pennsylvania, the split's way.
You know what's so funny? 2016, I just went to sleep and woke up and there was a president. 2020, I stayed up till like midnight, I think. And I went to bed and I woke up and I don't think it was decided yet.
I was a senior in high school. Or
If
just
we weren't doing this
graduated?
show, I'd be asleep right now.
Senior in high school in 2016.
So
I voted.
Side note right here. It is 9:45 where I am, but my body definitely does not think that. So what's that going to be like?
You tell us.
What?
I don't know.
Oh, you got some jet lag?
Well, the time difference is 3 hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I went to Vegas. I slept till like noon the next day, and then I was fine.
When I went to Israel, it's like a depends on the time of year, but it's like a 6-7 hour difference. And that sucked. We all got sick when we got back.
That's huge.
You're probably going to get sick when you get back. Good luck. All right.
What do we got, Jamie? Said
Jamie's
you had a
got something
video.
for us, for our viewers.
Look at that massive bicep. What a man. Look at
Ow.
that massive chest.
I hit my hand on the chair. How many? Ooh. After we watch this video, I got a game.
This is Wipeout?
Down to business.
Oh.
That's the only part I'm not watching.
The way people's spine bends in this show is insane.
Jeez.
That one girl got hit in the face by the thing. She did it like 10 times in a row. She just kept getting up and getting hit over and over and over again.
She's like Captain America.
My
Hey.
son loves this
Okay.
show.
I've got a game.
What do they do?
Okay. Never mind.
Let it go. Oh, man, this dojo. Oh.
We're watching Wipeout. If you're on the TikTok live, we're watching Wipeout right now.
Maddie, come up. Tell us who you voted for. All right. So I got a game. If you can guess the amount of steps I've taken today within 2,000, give or take. So you got 4,000 to play with. If you can guess it, you get to hit me with Hulk Fist. If you can't, I get to hit you with Hulk
What's
Fist.
your daily average?
I just started wearing this again, and it's higher today because
I know you went golfing, but you have to know like what your normal is. I've never tracked.
I don't know. I think my normal is probably around. You want me to check it? I think I can check my normal.
Yeah.
13,000. I'm saying 13,000. I guess.
You went golfing. You went to Gypsy, I think, because it was local, which means you walked. No. Gypsy has cheap carts.
An hour average, not hour standing average.
I wish they'd call something. Just call
They
something.
don't want to.
Georgia's at 94%. Trump's up by 100,000, 125,000. Pennsylvania's at 88. It went up 2%. Trump's ahead 150,000. So that one's pretty consistent with the last polls turned in. Michigan's at 57. What?
Trump just won Georgia.
Trump just got Georgia.
Hey, that's another state that Biden got in 2020.
Which is insane to me. They got it. They've got it.
He hasn't called it yet.
but they don't. These other sources don't call it unless they've got the numbers to back it up. What are you watching, Corey?
I am on Fox.
Oh, maybe not. Go look at what CNN says.
Wisconsin's at 83%.
That'll weigh it. I mean, CNN's fake news, but that'll.
I think it's probably going to break down. Is what's going to happen.
Goodness, here we go.
This is a fun little thing, James. You should pull up Fox and CNN side by side and show it on the screen, like Fox and CNN, their maps, and see who's called what and who hasn't called what. I'll bet it's a stark difference.
Just their map.
So 4,000 steps on Monday, and that's about when I started wearing it. So,
did you do anything on Monday out of the normal? Is that just a normal day?
This is a normal day. Yeah.
Did you work out that day?
Did I work out on Monday?
Did you play 18 holes?
I played 18. On Monday, I did not work out.
I'm thinking you're in the range.
Wait. Do we want to shake hands on this bet first? You get to
What's
punch
the
me.
bet? Punch you where?
If give
Punch
or take
where?
2,000. Shoulder punch.
Sure.
Okay. For today. For how many
steps
steps I took
I think
today.
at 4,000 without exercise, and you were working for most of the day, then your actual average for like a normal day is probably closer to 8 or 10,000. And if you golfed, then you're probably at 15 or plus.
Okay.
I'd say 15 to 20 if you golfed. I'm gonna go 16,000.
Okay, today on Wednesday, since it's past midnight.
Wait. Did you say today or
I said
yesterday when you
today.
went, or yesterday when you
said-
went golfing? I'm talking about when you went golfing. Don't tell me.
I said today.
No. I'm talking about when you went golfing.
I said today in
Okay,
the
that's
bet.
not what I answered. So let me answer for today. Did you exercise today? You did
Yeah.
exercise.
No,
today.
I didn't.
Did you wear it during your exercise?
I exercised yesterday.
You went this morning. Oh, you're trying to play tricks.
You need
That's
to listen.
fine. I didn't guess yet. That's fine.
Yeah, you did.
That's fine.
You said I'm gonna go 14.
For the day you were golfing.
No,
You heard me do the math.
You went with
You
it.
heard me
I
add
know
the
I
math
did. I'm
for
trying
golfing.
to trick you. That's
I don't
what
want to
I'm
be tricked. I don't want to be tricked.
You need to listen.
It's too late at night to be tricked.
You need to listen to word.
I did listen.
To word. You didn't.
I'm talking about your golf day.
You didn't listen to
Today,
wordage.
you have taken since 12 a.m.
Not 2,000, give or take 2,000 anymore.
What? You can't. Now you're changing the rules. The deal is off.
Because you changed the day.
No, I didn't.
If
You changed the day.
No, I said today.
No,
I
you
said
knew I
today.
was doing it for golfing.
I know. I was trying to trick you.
You pulled a classic
What did you
Trump.
guess for golfing? For golfing?
16.
Ooh.
Was that close?
You were off by. So if you.
Oh, I was off by 110.
For the 2,000. So he would have gotten punched either way.
That's pretty good, though. I think I might have estimated your daily a little high. The first daily, not the including golf.
Yeah. I don't
Judgment Day. Let's see this clip,
Something's
baby.
happening.
Count. We still have states
Probably Kurt.
that have not been called yet. We will continue overnight to fight to make sure that every vote is counted, that every voice has spoken. So you won't hear from the vice president tonight,
No, of course.
but you will hear from her tomorrow. She will be back here tomorrow to address not only the HU family, not only to address her supporters, but to address the nation. So thank you. We believe in you. May God bless you. May God keep you.
You're
And
at
go
Long
HU
Valley.
and go Harris. Thank you
You're at the
all.
Long Valley, bro. Why are you at a Harris rally saying God?
Oh my gosh.
She said
That's gonna go up with Podesta.
you're not her guy.
That guy's right up there with Podesta. By the way, Montgomery County, Cliff, we're getting some numbers out of Montgomery County. It was 62-36 in 2020. It's now 60-38.
Yeah, and I think, listen, these
60.
numbers continue to cannibalize.
60-38. I'm telling you, they're getting redder, not bluer in the areas she needs to get votes.
So that's day of. That's all
Yes,
day of
I'm
coming
telling
up.
you.
62 and
when we're
it was
seeing
60,
day of
30.
votes, it's,
So we're at about
once again,
we're at about 220,000 difference in Pennsylvania with 90% reporting. So if we take that and take the 10% remaining from the vote count currently, then we still have about 630,000. So that's why I haven't called it yet, because there's only 220 difference, and there's probably somewhere between 600,000 and 700,000 votes still to come in. All trajectories, though, tonight have pointed towards Trump taking Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, which wins him the vote. Honestly, he just needs Pennsylvania and Michigan or Wisconsin. He needs Pennsylvania and Michigan, or Pennsylvania and Georgia, and that puts him at 265. I think he'll win from there, because even if Kamala took 10, 11, then we're at 21 added to her current, and Nevada, I don't know how many electoral votes Nevada is. Nevada last year was 6, so we're at 27.
It's not looking
Even
good
if she
for
took
her.
some of these other ones, she couldn't. I don't think she could get up there. I think it's fairly obvious, but we all just sit here and look at these numbers over and over and over and over.
Let's do it a little bit longer. I gotta drive home. You don't.
You guys want to take a video of just Corey napping? You can sleep on the couch. Go work out. First thing, 5 a.m.
Shut up.
Corey going to sleep.
Olive has a fever, so I gotta get home before the morning.
What are you gonna do for a fever?
I gotta help my wife when I can. What I can.
Yeah, I feel you. I got a bunch of meetings tomorrow. Let's talk about our day tomorrow. What are you up to tomorrow?
I got a meeting. I have
an endgame stand up for Integrity Sleep Solutions.
Yeah, we got the endgame stand
We've
up.
got some LinkedIn workshop. I don't know what that is.
Meeting at 11.
I have a 3 p.m. in Harris. No, I have a. Huh?
Do it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll mute you guys.
PTSD.
Do you think how sad do you think? Do you think Kamala's sleeping in the White House?
No, let's just stay positive. Let's just we'll get to
Naval
that
Observatory.
Yeah.
Do you think she's there just to like try to get like her?
No,
nights
she's
in?
not there.
She'll get her nights in over there.
Yeah, Delco's done. Montgomery's about to be done. Bucks still has 30% out, and the more Bucks comes in, the redder it looks. So that's a pocket where, as things come in, it actually helps with all of these other pieces.
Bring us. Donald Trump has a 220,000 vote advantage. Call it.
I won't fall asleep.
90% reporting.
Who's he
Call
talking
it.
about?
Let's check on Wisconsin. Wisconsin
call
and
it.
Michigan
Still
still red. Wisconsin
600,000
87%. Donald Trump has an immaculate 100,020
Wisconsin
vote advantage
this guy
with
right now.
87% reporting. It's done. It's finished.
2.8 million
finished.
with 16% remaining. So if we go
finish them
times 0.14, there's still 392,000 votes left for Wisconsin ish, somewhere around there. And he's only leading by 120. So you can't call it when there's still 392,000 votes.
You could just call it.
Yeah, you could just say things and hope your words create manifest destiny.
Just call it.
and 30. Correction.
It is
Donald Trump with a 230 point advantage in Pennsylvania. Let's go. Look at the state of Pennsylvania. Oh my gosh. Donald Trump's at 93%, an immaculate 93% win percentage. With 90% reporting, Donald Trump, it is now effectively, statistically impossible. Impossible. First president with a mugshot. First president with a mugshot.
People try to sleep in the studio.
No, they're not. My parents are going to be up.
Me.
Oh, baby. Oh, it's gonna be so. It's gonna be.
We'll do
good.
something
No,
to
I
you.
can't. I drink too much.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Maybe around
as we await
Too much.
somebody to have the guts
Too much.
to finally just say yes, Donald Trump won.
Play Call of Duty.
I want to bring up the great artist Eric from our team. Artist Eric is one of the cinematographers here, and he went to Fulton County with me and handed out MAGA hats, and all the MAGA hats were gone in a matter of minutes. And I'd love to get his perspective on exactly what's happening here in this landscape, and more importantly, since Eric is a rap game aficionado,
These lights make me look.
maybe why
Yeah, he went up.
some of
He
these
just got 16.
places like
Trump
Detroit,
Georgia.
Milwaukee, Philadelphia.
Trump's at 246. Remaining votes needed is 24. Remaining electoral. Kamala needs 60, which means she has to win Pennsylvania. She has to win Michigan. She has to win Wisconsin.
How's Maine looking?
And that would put her at 255. She would have to win Alaska. Oh, Nevada, we got some numbers in. All right. Nevada, first numbers in for the night.
You're taking after that guy.
Nevada is at 18% reporting. They have got 56-42, 56 red for Donald Trump.
Wow.
138,000 to 103 vote count. But Virginia, I'm disappointed in you. How could you? You suck. I can't believe I live here.
Western Virginia, mountain mama, country roads, take me home.
Minnesota's still at 63%. Minnesota's just sleeping. They're in their sauna.
I look like I've just gotten
the spread
bar
is
fight
getting
in
worse
Scotland.
and worse between Trump and Kamala in Michigan.
I got the short sleeve shirt on with the tie with the crazy hair.
Yeah, you look like a Gaelic punk. Irish. It's never for
Just
Irish.
call me gay boy.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna. Maine.
You now have 92.
Trump's falling behind in Maine.
What do they got?
52%. He was only 13,000 behind. Now he's 32,000 behind.
Really? 51%.
3.3 million votes. Kamala Harris had 3.08 million votes. He's up 220,000 votes with 92% of the vote counted. Over in Michigan, things are even worse for Kamala Harris. Over in Michigan, they have 63% of the estimated vote total reported, and she is already down 220,000 votes in the state of Michigan. He is currently up over 6% on her in the state of Michigan, with 63% reporting in Michigan. He's expected to win by about 2.5%.
Have you done the New York Times needle update?
Would you like to hear it?
I would really love. Oh, it's very likely. It's
very likely.
Almost pinned. It's almost pinned.
It is 90 over 95% chance of victory for Donald Jamoglius Trump at this point in time. And it is
Anisha Trump.
It is wildly enjoyable. As you may have noticed, we've hit the punch drunk portion of this evening's program. It is indeed midnight. It is the witching hour here at the Daily Wire in Nashville. For those of you on the East Coast and up at 1 a.m. enjoying yourself. Just
if Donald Trump wins, what are we doing to celebrate?
We should read our Bibles and pray for the country. And you think that's funny, James?
Mm-hmm.
You laughing at worship?
You have to learn how to celebrate things, Corey.
Matt says,
I won $1 million. I need to read my Bible.
Matt says DoorDash. He's like, McDonald's for one day.
And then we should
Only once a day for me.
And then we should take a nap.
Oh, all our stuff from Vistaprint's going to come in. Shipping.
When?
Next couple days.
Maybe, but who knows? Because the Civil War could break out. So we don't know.
I think the liberals tried to do their assassination.
Corey, do you
prior to
follow
the
me on
election.
TikTok?
I don't think Corey's still here. Is he? Oh, you're still here. Hi, Corey.
Downloading my TikTok after I haven't been on TikTok since tonight, or I haven't even had it on my phone in probably 2 years.
TikTok's been out for 2 years. That's crazy. I didn't have it until we started doing stuff for the company with it.
TikTok's probably been out for way longer than that. That's a good thing. How long has TikTok been out for?
You guys remember?
It was ByteDance or something before.
You remember Vine?
Yeah, Vine was like the original short form video, right?
Yep, and they shut her down.
They shut it down. I thought somebody bought it and then just
They
got.
shut it down because China. I don't actually know if that's true.
You said China.
Who's at the door?
You
Yeah,
have to
come on
crawl under
through.
these cords. We're gonna ask you for your input on the election.
Papa
when you
John's.
come back through.
Waiting forever for Pennsylvania to flip. That's what happened.
Just waiting instead of peeing.
Yes.
You missed it.
Just joking.
That would be hilarious. Oh, that would be so funny.
That was Matt's
Come
dad.
on, Pennsylvania, do it just for my dad.
Flip. Oh, well, wait, he said flip. Just decide because it's already red. Decide.
247. Trump just got 2 more electoral college votes. Where the crap do you get 2 from?
Alaska.
Alaska's not done.
It says results expected soon on the AP. They only have 2 electoral college votes. Poor Alaskans.
There's no one there.
They basically don't matter.
It's like either dark all the time or light all the time.
Well, they have the ice wall where they hide the aliens from us behind. I'm having so much fun. I'm at peak caffeine right now. 350.
What 5 people are still awake watching this?
What's this?
You people who have
What's
been.
this, James? I mean, 3 of us are right here. My mom.
They're not.
This is Harris HQ.
Go.
Did
What
he
are they
just come
doing?
out and yell at everyone? We lost. Shame on you. You didn't work hard enough.
Turn that volume on. What are we watching?
The Kamala salad.
Are they doing anything or is it just cleanup? This guy's just looking at
it's just
people's legs.
everybody
What is this
leaving.
cameraman doing? He is drunk.
Kamala. That's what
American
this is.
flags. Oh, they put up the American flags for election day. Hi, Sammy.
They were.
We're
burning-
just watching this election. If you want to share your thoughts on it,
They were. burning
I've been
it.
up since 4:30 a.m., but I got a sweet little nap in.
Sammy's not in that live, bro. It's me. It is.
Says Sammy joined. Right there.
I liked that live a long time ago.
Oh, this live is dead, but that's
Not-
okay.
No.
I'm
Not
having
this
fun.
one. Not this
James,
one.
these lights wash me out.
There
and
are
make me
people
look
watching
pale.
here.
Can you make me look more attractive? There's no Rembrandt. There's nothing.
You need to be humbled. Make him look uglier. We're all ugly.
If I take my shirt off, I'm more attractive. My face is like a 5 out of 10.
Nope, we're all ugly and vain. You're so vain.
It flipped.
You probably think this song is about you.
There's no way they can make up.
This
that
is
They're at 90%.
Yep.
Isn't that where they've been?
This is Papa John walking through.
Hey, Johnny boy, come tell us how you feel about the election so far. Mike's up here. You don't have to get into it. You can
There's
speak.
no way they can make up the amount of votes they need to in Pennsylvania with 90% in.
No way.
It's been done for hours.
Wait.
You heard
Hold
it
on.
first.
Have
Papa
you seen my
John's.
math? Have you been watching our live stream?
No, he's watching the guy. The
You're
other
not
guy.
watching your own son's live stream?
Your mom is. You got.
Hold on. 3097
Your mother is.
minus 3097. We have 230,000 vote lead, and we have 10% remaining.
Yeah.
So we have a total of 6,400,000 about.
But the lead keeps getting further.
6,400,000.
It's a wider margin
His
every
lead's
time
expanding.
someone wins.
0.10.
Yeah.
We're
It's getting bigger and
the-
bigger instead of getting smaller.
6,400,000
They just don't
times
want to give it up.
0.10.
They don't want to call it.
Well, there's still 640,000 votes to come in.
But it keeps getting the margin keeps getting bigger
Yeah.
every time they come in.
Yeah, but I mean, they just don't want to call it. I'm
Yeah.
surprised they called Georgia.
It took them an hour, a good couple of hours to call Georgia too.
Well, because there's still 6% remaining, and
Were
there's
Arizona and Nevada both?
5.1.
Georgia's the GOP in Georgia called it at 10:30 tonight for them.
million times
Really?
0.10.
Oh, they
'Cause,
were
like-
celebrating at 10:30 tonight.
Check Pennsylvania.
Oh,
though.
times 0.4.
They should be celebrating.
So I mean, there's still 200,000 or 300,000 votes to come in for Georgia, and he's only ahead by 127. So I'm surprised they called it.
They know the areas.
Yeah, I guess they know how the counties will turn out.
Yeah.
They got-
Like
they got
Atlanta,
algor- they got
Atlanta
algor-
isn't finished. And it's dark blue.
They got predictive algorithms that tell them.
Oh, I thought it said Donald Trump wins the whole thing, but it was just for that state. I mean, once he wins Pennsylvania, even if she got everything
Oh, you guys
else.
have got Monster and Red Bull.
You want one?
Yeah. We got 15. If Kamala took everything else, which she won't, we'd be at 25.
Your mom said Trump is up to
31,
251.
31, 42, 45. She would be up 45, which put her at 255, even if she won every state other than PA.
He's won, dude.
He won.
It's over.
Just call it. Call it. So I can go to bed.
Now you sound like Ben.
I'm going to go play
No,
some Call of Duty after you call the race.
This guy.
Oh, my
He's sounding
head.
like Benny, man.
It's
This is like staying up to watch the ball drop on New Year's Eve, and you think it's going to be amazing. The first time you do it, you're like, that was the most pathetic display of a show. It doesn't even drop. It slowly descends. And it doesn't explode. It's just a shiny piece of classic
Papa
crap.
John's trying to talk here.
But this is worse because we don't know when they're going to finally throw in
I
the
know.
towel.
I wish they would.
Well, Kamala's like, I'm going to bed so I can go
Yeah,
sleep my
she already
last
left.
night as executive in the White House.
She's going to stuff the
The guy came up, the assistant for the campaign manager, he came up on the stage and said, nothing's going to be said. Nobody's going to do anything anymore. So everybody go home.
I'm honestly surprised Trump hasn't grabbed
Could you
it.
imagine if you showed up there and waited all night for that, and then they came out?
Has Trump's team said anything if he's going to announce tonight?
He went over to the Coliseum, but he hasn't taken the stage. He's waiting for the announcement.
So he left Mar-a-Lago already?
I don't know. I haven't been keeping up with that.
You said he already went over to the stadium.
That's what the last.
What's his son's name again?
Which one?
The young one. The one.
Barron?
Barron stayed up all night last couple times. You remember the videos of him falling asleep while they were?
Benny showed a video of Barron actually voting.
Is he 18?
Yep. He turned 18.
Dang.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't a video. It was a
Tucker
picture.
Carlson at Trump headquarters.
It was a picture. It
So
wasn't
Trump
a
said if
video.
he didn't win, this would probably be his last run, and that he would feel sad but very fulfilled if he didn't win. If I win, I know what I'm going to say. I don't even want to think about the losing part. That's probably how I would be. I'd be like, I'm just going to wing it if I lose.
He said
Oh, something's happening. People are walking. What do we got, Jamie?
I said Tucker Carlson just showed up.
Oh,
See you, John, Papa John. He
See
said
you, guy.
he said so much.
Yo, let's order a pizza.
They're not open. He said so much.
How are we going to celebrate? We can't stay up for hours and not celebrate. There, I'm making up.
Trump has had so much fun on this campaign. He just had a good time. He bought a trash truck and just rode it around because Biden called us garbage if we vote for Trump. He went and worked at McDonald's.
Wasn't that Kamala? Or was that Biden?
No, it was Biden. He went and worked at McDonald's and gave juice flex.
I could see my tummy and I want to feel strong.
Tummy.
Tummy.
He worked at McDonald's and had a good time doing that. He went to the Steelers game afterwards.
Just so funny, like, because this whole McDonald's thing, it was just a PR stunt. It's like when you see the guy go out there and like take a picture on the farm or whatever. It's like you didn't actually do anything. But I think he did actually work a full day. But it was just a PR thing. But it was in such good camaraderie with the base that he's.
He paid for everybody to have McDonald's that day, like the people who
that's
came.
cool.
Apparently, they all got free Mickey D's.
So I've heard a lot of people say that, and let me see where y'all think you're coming from. If you make over $20 an hour, you need to financially be on, the Trump vote. If you make less than $20 an hour, you need to be on the Kamala Harris vote. What do you think about that? If somebody comes and says that.
That doesn't make any sense because wherever she wants to raise minimum wage, the prices just go up. So you're still in the same hole you were in before. Your prices are just more expensive for everything. You see that across the board.
I'm trying to see where that's derived from. Like, is that
Because she wants to raise minimum wage.
minimum wage has already been raised a lot?
She wants to do it more.
But I'm just trying to think, like, are they saying that if you make under 20, you think that taxes will benefit you more, like the policies will benefit you more? Or
That's where a lot of people are coming from what I've heard
Mhm.
on that side. But then again, maybe it's just those people that might not want to chase the American dream of free capitalism and just want to take as much, and be living on a socialist society. And maybe that is the side of it. I'm not sure.
Most people who make under 20.
I don't think most liberals want how conservatives frame a socialist society. I think most liberals want programs assistant for the weak and the needy, and they want like it's a similar, when you get down to the spirit of people on different political sides, you have the extreme outliers in both sides. You have the alt-right characterized like white racist people. They still exist. And on the liberal side, you have the people who are like, no, the government should provide everything. But in reality, the majority of the people in both of those camps, like when it comes to that kind of thing, they're like, we want the government to help take care of the needy. We want the government to help us. We feel that that's where help should come from. A lot of conservatives are people of faith, so they feel like the same thing, but should come from a church government. But they also feel like we should take care of the needy. They just don't feel that the government should compel that. And so it's like the same spirit. They just believe in different ways of arriving there. And so that's one of my favorite things to do when I talk to people about politics, is just show like we have some of the same spirits. Immigration. Liberals say, people on the far end are like, let everyone in. But most liberals are like, no, let's use our power as a successful, strong nation economically and everything to help people. And they still say you can't help everybody. They get that. And conservatives are like, we don't want to help everybody. We want to take care of our people than others. And so it's the same spirit of, we all want to take care of immigrants. We all want young families who are living in mafia gang-ridden countries to be able to have safe haven. We just don't want to do it in a way that's going to break the country. So again, same spirit, two different ways of getting there. And so it's...
Yeah.
What?
Okay, so then what do you say to the people that don't go to church and they don't do these things, and they say, hey, you know what, if we were to tax the churches, then we could probably really eliminate poverty on those taxes?
I don't know enough about why taxes are not imposed on churches. I don't think to answer that super well. I know that they're not in a lot of cases if they're like 401c3s or 403cbs, whatever that designation is. Sometimes I've had the thought, like, why can these monolithic, megalithic church organizations not pay any taxes when the Mormon Church has one of the biggest investment funds in like America, when you have the celebrity pastors who are using the church to shelter their massive financial personal gain. So like, I've kind of felt like it's kind of like the classic trust buster thing is like, why can't we bust some of these trusts that churches are just basically leveraging a spiritual guise to amass their wealth? So I don't know that I have a strong opinion one way or the other.
I think part of it is because you can't get certain government loans and stuff like that being a part of the church. So if you can't get the loans, if you can't seek the advantage from the government, then they can't take the taxes.
Yes, like you're not supposed to have affiliations to some degree. Like Liberty University really got caught in the limelight because they get these state grants for being a nonprofit. I believe it's a nonprofit, but they get federal loans and all that stuff, but they're not supposed to engage. But Trump came and spoke there when he was on the campaign trail. So it was like, should you be leveraging this university, which is getting a bunch of state money and everything, to also help someone posture for campaigning?
I think it's more for the little guy, like, smaller churches. And
well, I mean, the majority of it probably goes to the bigger, but that's just the...
No, I just mean like the tax exemption. Like it helps the little guy who...
Well, it's giving, right? Their revenue is not like income. It's not service-based. It's people giving in a spiritual sense. With
not all the time, but a lot of those big churches it is. Like, because they sell merchandise. They sell a lot of, they sell their pastors' books. They sell...
Yeah, exactly. And that's where I think it gets sketchy.
Yeah.
I do think there's some sketch available there, but it's hard to screw with religious organizations in America, which it should be. Yeah. But yeah, I think it gets sketchy when people monetize their spiritual organization.
There's a cool channel for that. I can't remember what it's called, but it's on Instagram. Religious Business. They cover a lot of that stuff. He recently went into there's like one mega church and one prosperity gospel church, looked at all their financials, went there. Guy pulled a gun on him when security did. Because technically with a nonprofit, once you've donated to it and become a member, you're supposed to be able to see their financials and go to certain parts of the building, and they just wouldn't allow that, which is against the law. You want to pull up one of them, Jamie? Listen to one of these live streams. Whichever one you want. I'm gonna go to sleep.
Doom scroll.
What is this thing?
Activists on the ground, our managers for our Chase the Vote program, you know, our partnership that we did with America PAC. There's just so much that's happened that, you know, there's so many faces and situations that have happened that we'll be able to talk about for a long, long time that have really helped turn around the hearts and minds of activists who had really almost started giving up on the party there. And Eric Hubdy, look, God bless him, because he decided to run, put all his own money into this thing, and had basically no help or support from anybody. Ran his own thing. We came in. We've been doing stuff across the state to help.
Trump is up 20K votes in Nevada.
Okay.
Thank you, Mary. Are you going to Fox?
I was just going to look at what they said.
Eaton, which Biden won by, Biden won by 1 in 2020. Trump won it by 5, and that was before we were at like 80% reporting when we were talking about a couple hours ago. It's fully reported, and it still is Trump plus 5. Montcalm County, which I didn't know was a thing before tonight. Trump plus 38 in 2020, now Trump plus 39, and a 7% increase in turnout. So it keeps going back to the story. Democrats flat at 20, Republicans overperforming 20, and this is how we're getting
shivers and sneezes. It's weird.
You've had too many energy drinks.
Yeah, my whole body's just like twitching. Okay, so Fox called it. Are you sure? I'm not seeing anything on their website.
Well, they would be on their live. Here it is. Here's Fox.
Yeah, we're on.
We just had time change, so technically it's 2:21.
They said the final polls were closing at 1 EST, so I was expecting some stuff to come in between 1 and 2.
Trump has the House, the Senate, and the Supreme Court.
I feel like he's going to be so tired after this run. He's just going to be like, great, we won. I'm president for 4 years. I'm going to go take a nap and eat some cheeseburgers and do nothing for the next 4 years.
Did you guys see the ad that they put out? Did you guys see the ad that the left put out saying, like, if Trump wins, JD Vance is going to be the president for the next 30 years and it's going to be a dictatorship and he's going to change all the laws? And that was a legit ad. They had an ad out saying that.
What was it saying?
Yeah,
That if Trump wins, he said they called it on Fox.
Yeah, AP's been calling stuff later than all the others the whole night.
But has it been consistent?
Has anyone else called it? Yeah.
There was an ad that said that if Trump wins, that the left put out, that if Trump wins, JD Vance is going to be, they're going to change how long you can be president, the term, and JD Vance is going to be our next dictator, and he's going to be the president for 30 years. He's so young.
Sensationalized crap.
Yeah.
Just, it's the end of the world. Kamala's going to win, and she's going to kill every baby. It's just...
Okay, yeah, I'm going to turn on CNN real quick.
51.1% to Kamala Harris's 47.8%. Donald Trump has an almost 220,000 vote lead. That's with 93% of the estimated 270 electoral votes, which he's not at yet. He's
Yeah,
on
they're
path
called
to it.
97.
He's not there yet. He would love that trophy. We'll see if he gets it. Michigan, we're up to 67% now. This has been a slow walk. We're up to 67%. But again, 154,000 votes for the president 4 years ago. Donald Trump's lead is well in excess of that. 224,000 votes. You're at 67%. So there's more vote out. A lot of it is right here. This is essentially it. Just like I said, Philadelphia is it. If the vice president's going to come have some probable mathematical comeback in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, it must be based in Philadelphia. That's where the most people are. That's
According to what
are out.
AP has
for the vice president here in Michigan, only 32% in
What are you
Wayne County. But
seeing
again,
now?
this will be the conversation. If we get to the finish line and the results.
Is that a conservative one?
No, Decision Desk is the one they all go off of, the primary, one of the best ones, apparently. That's the one that most of them are going off of, right? I think that's the one most of them are going off of. This is supposed to be like one of the top.
Go to results and then go to president.
Charlie Kirk is celebrating. That's good. Let's go see what he's doing.
Okay, they call Pennsylvania.
If he wins Pennsylvania,
I don't think she can win now, right?
No.
Charlie.
And with it is winning.
Getting 8 ads every 20 minutes is actually diabolical.
15, 10, it's 25, 30.
Will begin, and Pennsylvania will lead the rebirth of the American Republic, just like it led the way for the birth of the first American Republic in 1776. It is commencing again.
Let's go, PA. Good job, Cliff.
Let's go, baby. I want to thank all the PA Chase team here. We're all here, baby. We're rocking
there.
Woo!
Go, Cliff. Go on, Cliff. Let's see the crowd.
President Trump expected to speak soon. We have to give thanks to God.
Dream big again.
We have to give thanks to God. We have to give thanks to God. God saved Donald Trump's life in Pennsylvania. In Pennsylvania.
I just want to say what Elon Musk was saying. This was our last chance. I genuinely believe that with the way that they were changing the electorate, this was our last chance to do this. Everybody should be so incredibly thrilled.
We're gonna win more. We're gonna win a lot more.
Actually left his hat.
We're gonna get tired.
We're gonna
of
win the
winning.
House.
We still have that promise.
This is the first time all year that Charlie Kirk
That was mean of me.
has had his full voice and been speechless.
And if anyone deserves to get tears in his eyes, it's Charlie. I think we all agree.
I think Erica was chopping some onions or something in the break room.
No one has
maybe.
worked harder than Charlie for this.
we gotta hear some words here from you, Charlie. You put all this together,
Just-
my man.
it's
Let's
just-
hear it.
I am just humbled by God. God's grace.
It's all God. It's all God. God alone. God alone.
This is crazy. Charlie's crying.
Decision desk has it. Pennsylvania.
It's done.
It's
Brett-
beginning.
Brett, how we doing at HQ? Are you still in HQ there with everybody? Are
Yeah,
people
I'm still
around?
here. I'm in my office. I've had the door closed. I don't know who's still here. I should see. I should see who's still here. It's
Yeah,
a
should be coming
little
out
after
speaks for
midnight
us.
in the
Yeah,
Central
and-
time zone.
yeah,
I
it's,
just want to say right now, it's
Dude,
such
this
an
is
honor
crazy.
and privilege to be part of this team.
Yeah,
our
I
team
thought he was going to win for the last few weeks, but it's so funny because you just see him in the lead with all these states. And you're just sitting there like, I guess something could always go wrong. But you're like, he's hundreds of thousands of votes ahead.
Recount,
for
he
hours
loses
and
all
hours.
of them.
Yeah. Oh, what a weird! They all just turned blue. What a weird.
I've not been optimistic for the past day or so. So this is insane.
You look like a crazy joker on this live stream, bro. What's
Did
the?
I post the banner?
Not yet.
Are y'all gonna call it first?
Yeah, just call it. It's 270.
No,
HQ has them
they've
at
already
270.
called it on HQ and they've called it on the Charlie Kirk stream. HQ is supposed
Can
to
they
be
tie at 270?
There you go.
270 to win.
But can they tie?
No, it's 270 to win.
How many total votes are there?
I think she can get up to 269. We look so dumb if we had him on there. Yeah, they won.
Trump looks like a big. Let's see.
We're calling it. You heard it here first.
538.
Okay, I'm gonna turn on this real quick.
What did you just say?
There he goes.
538. Oh yeah, 269.
The rebel.
It's a 1 point difference.
The rebel. The crazy one. The outsider.
I like this guy.
Who's crazy enough to think that he could change the world and who actually did.
They're clapping in the other studio.
My president. Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, we can react.
President Donald Trump.
We can do a response.
President Donald Trump will be speaking soon.
We can just
You can see here the motorcade already rolling. Look at.
Well done.
All right, everybody. Donald, what's his middle name? John?
Jeremy.
No, it's not.
Jessica.
Donald J. Trump will make his
Jedediah.
savage return
So I'll
after
walk
losing in
through.
2020, breaking the whole political world in 2016 for worse or for better.
His story couldn't end like that anyway. With the
2020.
loss.
I would have been remiss if the Donald if the Trump did not win at the end of like this is like the final frontier of his life is what I always felt like. This is like the final moment in which he's like, I have to win. And he did it, and he doesn't look like he's about to die from the stress of it all. And I'm excited about the appointments he'll make. I hope that he gets more Supreme Court justices.
Cue the super leftist meltdowns right now.
Is there anybody screaming in public squares?
I better see you go to Canada. If you don't go to Canada,
I might go downstairs out of my hotel just to see what's happening outside.
no, you better not. You're in Las Vegas.
Look outside, see if there's some fireworks.
I want you to stay alive. He's in Las Vegas, bro.
So
there's gonna be fires.
Vegas is a blast.
Fireworks.
Now didn't Vegas go?
Nevada
hasn't gone all the way yet.
But not Vegas. Click on it. Go to the city. Las Vegas.
Las Vegas is the one blue holdout. The AP is still not called this race.
I am so thankful.
The
to
AP
God
is
for
still at
Trump's
247
win.
for Trump.
Mary says, I am so thankful to God for Trump's win. Hallelujah.
Man, that psychopath isn't going to be able to put parents in prison, in jail. That's just... Ugh.
Wow.
Now, Donald Trump has said he'll do some things like activate the National Guard and things that some people are concerned about. So let's see if Donald Trump tries to destroy America and become a complete dictator.
That
and
was
do
taken out of
horrible
context.
things.
That was about illegal immigrants.
Yes, it was. But
The National Guard to go help out the people that don't have houses anymore from the hurricane.
In North Carolina.
oh no, he was talking about sending immigrants back. He's the National Guard to send immigrants.
That's the one he should have gone after.
Let's not miss when Trump speaks. So
Yeah,
make
I've
sure.
got it up.
I'm going home after that.
Hey guys, I know you really can't read it, but that right there, this Trump Tower.
Yeah, you got what's happening at Trump Tower right now? Dude, we've been on for 3
when I
hours.
got here, just so y'all know, the sphere had Kamala stuff all over it, and I didn't see.
Huh?
I said 3.5 hours.
Hussein's still too close to call. What?
CNN is right there.
CNN is still running, still too close
No,
to call.
that's
bans.
MSNBC.
Oh, these women are like mad. They're pursing their lips. Put them. They're already on here.
Yeah. Let me put it
The other one that keeps flashing too.
decide whether he's going to do what other autocrats have done, which is to essentially eliminate the function of the legislature.
It would be terrible if somebody
Right, that's-
prosecuted their political opponents
Yeah.
for a separate time.
Yeah, the autocrat that was just elected into office.
Yeah, right.
Democratically.
And possibly with the popular vote. Yeah, almost certainly with.
He's going to win the popular vote.
Yeah,
Unreal.
you're about to see the popularity of democracy among Democrats. That's the problem. The problem is democracy. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
They say that with free speech. The First Amendment is no good.
Actually, democracy is bad, it turns out.
It's gonna,
You think about the U.S. bond market. You think about the sort of the way that the U.S. is sort of a
By
reserve
the way,
currency for the world.
You know who gets
And
to
the-
preside
and the
over
rest
the
of the world
certification of the
counts on
vote?
Political stability here.
Wow.
man.
One Kamala L. Harris. I don't know her middle name is. She gets to preside over the certification of Donald J. Trump's electoral
Do you
vote.
think they'll refuse to certify in the name of democracy?
Oh, I
No.
certainly they won't. But it would be great if they did.
They would if it had been 270 to 268.
Yeah.
But that is not what's going to happen.
Yeah.
No.
He's going to win 300 electoral votes, and they're not
Or
going to
more, yeah.
They're not going to do
Yeah,
anything
where's
about it.
Simon? He's the president.
Except
All
for
I see was
The American people, unstoppable,
Dude,
man. Unstoppable. So good. So good. Wow. And you know, like Fox being first to call Pennsylvania, right after last time
They learned
around
their
when they
lesson.
got banged
They
on.
learned
for
their
calling
lesson.
Arizona. By the way,
Yeah.
well, I mean, by the way, they called Arizona right last time. Okay. So like
They called it right, but they called it too early.
Understood.
2 minutes.
And they called it right this time.
Hold on, James. Hold on.
Okay.
Wow. That's right.
And so they're
News article is gated.
Dude, you know what he needs to walk out to? Many men wish death upon me. Blood in my eyes and I can't see. People just trying to take my life away. Don't pay for something.
I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back to my other banner, which you guys didn't address because
I read the Washington
I
Post.
did address it. I said I'm not falling asleep.
Mhm.
Send it to Matthew.
I thought I was going to be the one that was burnt out.
Did you get a nap? I went to the gym this morning.
I was up. I was up at 4:30 this morning.
You fell back asleep.
You abandoned me, and James overslept because you guys both suck.
No, whoever me is abandoned you.
You changed your name in your phone, not me. I've learned it was your fault, not mine. But I did get a nap. I think I fell asleep for an hour.
It's James's fault. He blocked you in. Didn't get up.
I could have gone and wake him up, but I'm just not that cruel. I'm going to wake up his family. All right. On the night he once hoped to win re-election, Biden retreats from view. Tuesday marked the latest as a Washington Post political article. Tuesday marked the latest bittersweet moment for sitting president, who had played a leading role in so much of the drama that unfolded in one of the most unusual presidential election cycles in recent political history. At some point on Tuesday night, as Americans around the country sat glued to the television coverage of the election results, President Joe Biden joined them in doing the same. He was going to retreat upstairs to the White House residence, aides said, with a smattering of family members and his longtime political advisors to keep tabs on an election that until 3 months ago he was supposed to be in, and one that will have far-reaching implications for him personally, politically, and historically. Blah, 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 blah. It marked, but also marked blah, 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 blah. Even for a man with perhaps more blah, 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 blah. He's in a good place. All right. Said Senator Chris Coons in Delaware, who spoke to the president on Monday. He's optimistic about Vice President Harris's chances. He was wrong. He's looking forward to the rest of the year and finishing up a number of things he's working on that will also lay the groundwork for his post-presidency. Biden spent Tuesday night at the White House and held no public events. And around 4 p.m., aides told reporters that there would be no appearances for the day. He spent early portions of the night calling candidates, and by 9 p.m., he had called a trio of Delaware winners. But Biden was not expected to join the Harris rally taking place just miles from the White House at Howard University. As results came in indicating a narrowing path to victory for Harris. What is this article? As results came in indicating a narrowing path to victory for Harris, the mood in the White House was somber. Oh, I don't know what narrowing path meant, I guess, according to the person in touch with those there. Among those watching the returns with the president were his longtime advisors. Blah 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 blah.
What do you think it's like for Hawaii to just not be part of this at all? Like,
they don't vote?
No, they do vote, but their time.
Oh, yeah,
they just don't even get considered. They're like, we're not going to make it.
You could use Alaska. Like they get pushed through, but
yeah,
doesn't mean anything.
Try to see what he's doing right now. Is he asleep?
Biden? No way he's awake.
What is Biden doing right now?
Okay, I'm gonna go to this.
Go ahead.
Now I need to do some Schadenfreude. So I need. Yeah, I mean, let's get to the fun stuff. So I need a ranking of who most richly deserves what just happened.
Well, Kamala Harris is number one. I definitely vote for the news media.
I don't think Kamala Harris doesn't even deserve it.
I agree.
She didn't even earn this.
I agree.
She's a
non-entity. I'm going to give you the answer.
Really
the answer, and it's just right. So just deal with it. The correct answer is Barack
Obama.
Barack Obama engineered every aspect of everything about all of this. And then he went out there and he tried in his own magical persona to yell at black men into voting for her. And they said no. And then he tried to take all of his magical popularity and transfer it to his terrible wife. She's not a good person, Michelle Obama. She's been portrayed as one, but she's not. And then she went out there and lectured them. He staffed up the entire Biden administration, and then he was purposely staffing up the Kamala administration. Right. And Barack Obama has been denied a fourth term. He has been denied and he deserves it so at the hands of Donald Trump yet again, reenacting my favorite picture of literally all of human history. My favorite picture, which was after Donald Trump won in 2016. Which again, I'm just glad we get to do this again, man. This is like Godfather 2. Like they're both so great. How do I decide which one is better? But after 2016. You recall that Donald Trump visited the White House And there's a wonderful picture of Donald Trump lecturing the media. And next to him is Barack Obama, who looks like he just wants to commit suicide. And right between them is Abraham Lincoln's bust like this. The fact that Donald Trump has skunked Barack Obama twice.
Yes.
The fact that he skunked Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris. He is the destroyer.
But Ben,
he has become, some might say, Vishnu, destroyer of
I want to
worlds.
put a little cherry on top of your Sunday. I want to take you back to a White House Correspondents Association.
Yes.
During the 2012 cycle, Trump had been flirting.
I'm gonna send it to you on Slack. Pull this up. This is a funny thing to toss in here at the end.
I'm on your Slack.
I sent it to myself. Yeah.
There you go.
This is we're going to show 12 minutes of Democrats denying election results. This is not current. These are old videos.
Where is it?
In Slack. Send it to you on Slack. There you go.
Okay.
You can run the best campaign. You can even become the nominee. And you can have the election stolen from you.
How can you win with Russian interference?
That's
what I'm scared about in 2020.
But rightly.
Because Charlemagne president that didn't really win. So how do you fight against that in 2020?
You are absolutely right. He is an illegitimate president in my mind.
But you've been my vice president.
Folks, look, I absolutely agree. Trump didn't actually win the election in 2016. He lost the election, and he was put in office because of the Russian genocide.
Trump knows he's an illegitimate president.
The president, elected, although legally elected, is not legitimate unless it is president elect.
In case you're just tuning in, this is all past Democrats saying that there's voter fraud.
But more to come tomorrow.
I do. We have a president who, if in fact it is proven, has been assisted by the Russians and may in fact not be a legitimate president.
The one thing that Trump is fearful of when it comes to his being president is that finally we will
Bruno
see
Mars
how
and Hillary Clinton. What are these
illegitimate he actually
matchups?
was.
You're fine. I just talk over it.
I object to the 15th state of North Carolina. I object because people are horrified. He's an illegitimate president.
Do you believe Trump is illegitimate president?
What I believe is that there's no question that the outcome of this election was affected by the Russian interference.
But there absolutely is a cloud of illegitimacy, so that legitimacy is in question. Yes, so that was a very tainted election, and in that sense, it's illegitimate.
Why do you think the president is going to such great lengths to essentially prove that he beat you?
Because he knows he didn't. He knows he's an illegitimate president.
Stolen emails, stolen drone, stolen election. Welcome to the world of unprecedented Trump. Did you believe President Trump is an illegitimate president?
Based on what I just said, which I can't retract.
The Russian attempt to hack the election. And frankly, the FBI is weighing in on the election. I think makes his election.
So, Trump claimed illegitimate loss 2020. Democrats claimed it also in 2016. There will probably be people claiming it this time. It's a pretty big landslide, though, so maybe it won't be as common. But it's just funny, man. When you boil this stuff down, wherever there are people, you will find the full scope of humanity, whether that is intelligence and stupidity, whether that is ignorance and wisdom, whether that is falsehood and truth. You'll find it all. It's not limited to Republicans or Democrats. It's not limited to conservatives or liberals. It's not limited to academics or blue collar. It's not limited to cities and rural areas. They all exist everywhere. And so when you have this thought in your head that you're going to characterize an entire group of people, just know that you're immediately putting yourself into the bucket of ignorance.
You just said a lot of words.
I'm lit. I'm good to go. G2G, bruh.
What's Trump talking?
He has more energy than you do. He's like 90. How old is Trump?
Trump's 70 something.
It's a dope tie.
No, it's not. Look at the back of it. It's already falling apart. Oh, it looks like it was earlier.
No, it's the. Oh, it's not supposed to be vertical. That's weird. I feel like a stripper. I can't do this.
Trump freaking talk, dude. Freaking talk.
Jamie, find out when Trump's gonna talk. We're being boring. No one's even watching this thing anymore. We're just gonna post it for watch time, basically. The last temptation of Donald Trump: how he lured evangelicals to follow Satan. This is a Reddit thread. Donald Trump has tempted evangelical Christians just as Satan tempted Jesus, except this time it worked.
At least they admitted it didn't work with Jesus.
Let's see what crazy Reddit topics have come into my email this week. Trump sold Bibles to pay for legal fees to a porn star he cheated with and compared himself to Jesus. I don't know if that's true. I'm only laughing because it sounds crazy, but who knows? Texas megachurch youth leader arrested for trial.
Different.
Disgusting.
Oh. It's so weird to watch yourself pee in here, James. Can you pee since the mirror's up?
Yeah.
We are waiting for Donald Trump to come say something so we can go to bed. Night, Corey. Have a good night, brother.
Show your card to the world. Man.
What?
Don't show your card to the world.
Like, oh.
Unless it's Corey's card, then it's fine.
Hey, James, this light is too bright. Can you fix this?
It's
been washing me out all night. Really?
It's at the lowest setting.
We need a studio.
It's because it doesn't have the grid. You like that one instead.
No, the grid is directionality. It doesn't change brightness.
Well, it helps.
This is just softer.
It did have it turned around facing that way, and then the light bounces off the wall. Deadens it a little bit.
Why the Trump stuff bothers me immensely. Reddit thread. When I was a kid, my congregation banned us from watching certain cartoons because of the themes. We didn't pledge to the flag because it's idol worship. I was anxious about so many things as a kid because I didn't want to face eternal damnation. I've already heard everything they have to say about Democrats or liberals. They're against the LGBT stuff and abortions. If I were to ever say I liked a Democrat as a kid or even as an adult, I get funny looks in the lecture on why it's wrong to support them. When we get to Trump, it gets quiet. Actually, we don't even get to Trump because he isn't brought up voluntarily like all the other issues. None of this makes sense. You absolutely cannot do this to people, blah, 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 blah. Blah. Whiny, 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 whiny.
I'm going to Daily Wire real quick.
Go ahead.
I think you're going to say something.
Riots started. I remember sitting there and saying on the air, they think that they've won. They think, in other words, that they can do this. They can burn our cities down for this drug addict, and they will not have to pay. They're just wrong.
Yeah.
They've overshot the mark. And
Yes.
I knew it then, and it's absolutely true. They just went too far. They always do.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that they thought that because of Trump's excesses, that gave them license to do literally anything. And it turns out the American people are not up for that. And they proved it because they're like, you know what? Even with his excesses, we will take that guy over everything that you are presenting.
Ben,
right
you just
now.
mentioned Sam Brown. How's Nevada looking?
So shockingly, Sam Brown has now moved with 77% of the votes into an extraordinarily tight lead.
Really?
Jackie
Yeah, let's
Rosen.
go, baby.
Okay, so
because he's been trailing all night.
I mean, yes, he's been trailing. Well, all elections.
All elections.
He was down double
Yeah.
digits.
Yeah, yeah.
A week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. Nevada right now, Donald Trump is expected to win Nevada. He's up by about 4 percentage points in Nevada. If you take a look at at that Senate race in Nevada, with again 77% of the votes in, 496,800, 496,800. Jackie Rosen's at 494. Super duper tight. It's possible he pulls that out. He pulls that out. You're looking at 56 Republican seats in the United States Senate.
How is the House looking?
So the House, nobody knows. It's going to take weeks for the House to shake out because these races take for freaking ever. That's why you saw MSNBC a little bit earlier, really trying to stash their last hopes on the possibility that the Republicans somehow lose the House.
My friends, Fox News just called Wisconsin for Donald Trump.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
He's at 10.
I'm not doing it until I call Michigan. So
You got confetti in my whiskey.
I know.
I'm not
By
even.
the way,
I know. I was just thinking
Fine.
Not just, by the way, they
not
called
just a
them.
victory.
They called the election for him as well. By the way, I mean,
Yeah.
so Fox didn't just call Wisconsin; they also called the election for him.
So not only a victory, but a resounding victory for Donald Trump.
The American people, a wise and generous people. Seriously, really. Well
mean,
done.
that's garbage you're talking about.
Yeah.
By the way,
Wise and generous garbage.
By the way, I think that last touch from Joe Biden meant something.
It
I think it
did.
mehad something.
Yes, it did.
Because
Did
I
he
think
do
that
it? Had a role to play as well.
I mean, that's always the big question, right? It's but
Touch.
Same. There were,
I said at the time, there aren't any swing voters who are like, oh man, now I'm going to vote for Trump. But if you were a marginal Trump voter, somebody who's like, I don't know, like, yeah, I like him, but do I care enough to go out and vote for him? And then he called you all garbage.
Yeah,
that's right.
But guys,
and all your friends garbage and all your family garbage. It was like, again, just keep hitting us, and we're gonna hit you back.
Yeah.
We're gonna hit you back. They're just they're the passive aggressive person in your life who just pokes at you and pokes at you and pokes at you and pokes at you for years, and eventually they're just gonna get clocked. I mean, you can't do that over and over to the American people.
You know how gaps matter when they're real.
Yeah.
Gaps matter when they're real.
That was a Kinsey gap.
People
I
are
mean,
really
like he meant it.
And consider that the American people waited for their opportunity to hit back in a nonviolent electoral fashion.
Always a beautiful thing.
You know, when Trump was shot and he stood up, he proved that he was actually the courageous guy that he'd been telling you that he was.
Yes.
With this victory,
yes,
Donald Trump has proved that he is the world historic figure that he has been telling you he is for 40 years.
100%.
He is that guy now.
Yeah.
He is demonstrably that.
Here's the clip of Biden where he apparently calls people garbage. I haven't seen this actually. I've just heard about it a lot.
Donald Trump has no character. He doesn't give a damn about the Latino community. He's failed businessman. He only cares about the billionaire friends he has and accumulating wealth for those at the top. He says immigrants are poisoning the blood of our country. Give me a break. He wants to do away with the birthright citizenship. Who the hell has said that in the last 100 years? And just the other day, a speaker at his rally called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. Well, let me tell you something. I don't know the Puerto Rican that I know. Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization of Latinos is unconscionable, and it's un-American. It's totally contrary to everything we've done, everything we've been.
We are still live. We're just replacing the camera battery, because that's a thing after 3 hours of being live. 4 hours of being live. We're working on that feed. There we are. Look at that handsome man. So you gonna cut your hair soon? Is that what you said?
No.
Oh, I thought you said you were gonna cut it.
After the winter.
The winter. You should save it as a wig though, because then you can have long hair whenever you want.
Good.
It'll be your own hair. You could have long hair whenever you want. You never have to go through growing it out again.
Mhm.
I would do that if mine lasted that long.
You'd wear a wig?
Yeah. Of my own hair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of anybody's hair.
Of my own hair?
Could just buy a wig.
No, it has to be my own hair or it seems gay.
We're going to Charlie Kirk.
Hey,
And
Charlie.
all it did was make us stronger.
And it's the old
All it
Nietzsche
did.
quote.
No,
It's-
they just pissed me off. Is
It-
what they did.
It was the Nietzsche quote, which is that
Went
if
after
it
the
doesn't
wrong-
kill you, it makes you stronger. But honestly, it's the faith. It's like, man, the people
Charlie-
that lifted us up in prayer, the people that went to war. I mean,
Charlie, look at where we are now. So
One electoral vote.
going into this phase of things, imagine if Donald Trump had just won in 20 and was leaving the White House right now. But this entire
This is better.
process
no, this was God refined the fire.
has
He made us
galvanized us, has strengthened us,
Okay, keep going.
empowered us, and turned this movement
Hey,
into
another-
something
Hey, another cool word.
far beyond anything it could have possibly been. And I remember Steve Bannon and we got into like this argument. Charlie, did you cut your knuckle?
What are you talking about?
You're bleeding.
Yeah, probably.
Banging the table.
Wait, guys, in the midst of all this,
Steve,
Sam Brown's up. This is going to be like
That's great. That's great. No, Bannon said he thought it was providential. Bannon said it was providential that this happened this way.
This is
and I used to disagree with him, but now I
I
see
get
it.
a little bit
This is
excited.
going to be
I
a
think I see it
fun
now.
week. This is going to be the most fun I've ever had.
Arizona still has not sent any ballot. I'm sorry.
Take forever.
Yeah, let's go to bed.
The only thing is like, does Trump get shot? Like, do I want to be asleep in case he gets shot?
I don't think you get shot. Good night, guys. We love
Yeah,
you.
we're done. Trump's gonna speak. You can find it literally anywhere. in
We'll
the
watch
world.
it tomorrow.
I'm gonna go play video games and watch it while I play video games. So.
I'm going to bed. I got to drive home now.
Good night, friends and
Good.
family.
We'll see you at our next presidential live stream in 4 years. Man, that's insane. This is going to be a good next 4 years for business owners.